Oh, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan. Happy Tuesday to you. Let's get our heads right on a Tuesday. Enjoyed the night off last night. As much as I love watching Padres baseball, we were all due for a little bit of a respite. We all got one, and I know I can't speak for my compatriots here, but I'm feeling much better mentally, physically, much better night's sleep. Actually got more than 14 minutes of sleep last night, so I feel great. I'm ready to go. Today will be a day on this program where I would imagine we'd be exploring the space, 4 hours of space, and exploring it fully and really taking a look around and saying, what do you guys want to do? And I'll turn it over to our executive producer, Paul Rhyn. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to hear how you're feeling today.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm a little bit wired differently than you.
Yes.
Whereas I don't mind the off days. I usually don't mind them. Usually you'll come in and be like, oh, I was so bored. I was losing my mind last night with the Padres. I'm like, you know what? We just had 9 straight games. Every once in a while, little reset.
So I need
watch a movie, watch some TV or something, switch it up just a little bit. I couldn't do it. I don't want to do it 2 nights in a row.
No,
don't have to.
I needed the respite last night. We had a live member stream. It was a lot of fun. Actually, it wasn't fun. It was some serious topics are discussed on there. It gets deep. Gets deep on the live stream. We've got some tier ones going through some stuff that we've been through. So we chatted, talked that stuff through, answered some questions. The live stream's really fun. And it's kind of a behind the scenes look at what we do. And speaking of behind the scenes, here he is, the self-appointed Manny Machado of the show. It's something we learned last night on the live stream. Oh, that's supposed to stay.
Stays in the live stream.
That's a big faux pas on my part.
Right.
That's Ben Higgins, everybody.
Good morning.
Again,
good morning.
The Manny Machado of Ben and Woods. I learned something new about him every.
As Ben Higgins goes,
what player would you be?
Ben and Woods.
I don't know.
If you were a player, like corresponding with the Padres, but on this show, who do you think you are?
Xander Bogaerts. No, on this squad, let's see. Not Tatis. Not cool enough.
You don't think so?
No, not cool enough.
I mean,
I was going to
comparatively
slap you if you did.
No.
Comparatively, I would say you're probably more Tatis than I am.
Bo is more Tatis than you are.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like
Bo's way more Tatis than I am. Bo's a million times more
let's be
Tatis
honest.
than I am.
Everybody's more Tatis than you are.
That's true.
Jeff says I'm Tyler Wade.
No,
I love T Wade. I don't know.
Paulie, who are you then?
Paulie's crony. Just solid as F.
Solid.
Just
I was
solid.
going to say Mason McCoy. You go, who?
No. You are
I'll take crony. I'll take that.
like crony. I know who I am. Gavin Sheets. Some days I'm good, some days I'm not.
I don't know. We only have 3 players. I think you're aiming kind of low, but that's fine.
Who's Schilt? Adam. Schilt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What? So, yeah, you're Manny, I guess. So we did.
It's one thing if one of us call you Manny. It's a totally different thing for you to call yourself.
I'm like,
Manny
you know me, guys. I'm like Marlon Brando. Like the best to ever do it.
I mean, not obviously wasn't talking about baseball skill. I think personality.
What were you
wise,
talking about?
Maybe I'm Merrill.
I think yeah, you could be Jackson
Merrill.
I think personality wise, I'm more Manny than anyone else on the team.
I think so. I do agree with that.
More of a homebody.
Yep. Wait,
what?
No, there's no bigger homebody in this room than me.
Well,
I'd never leave my house. I don't let anybody in my house.
That's true. You are a homebody.
I'm a huge homebody. Paulie's Ruben Niebla. Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that one.
He is because he's the woodsy whisperer for sure. That's really good. I like that. I like that. I'm going to give you Manny just because. Well, why not? If you think it, then I want you to feel that way.
This was just for the Goldstream members.
Paulie is Musgrove as well. Paulie's got all the good guys.
My comparison was that Manny is the kind of guy who only does things that make sense to him. You know,
you said that last night, and I've been
try to. You know, he's. I think he's very logical when it comes to his baseball strategy and skill, and I'm also kind of that highly logical.
You're so logical, yes. Yeah. But I will say, Manny. If Manny's bosses called him into the office and they said, you need to start doing this, I would be the one that said, no, you're the one that'll be like, okay, I'll do it. And I don't know that Manny would do that. You know what I mean? So listen, these are the kind of things. Woody's, as Glenn says, is the ball boy. Must not be a Woody's fan. I don't know who Woody's is, you buffoon, but I go by Woodsy. All right. So if you're going to insult me, Glenn, with 2 N's and 2 L's, then get my name right, pal. All right. All right. I like that. All right. Woods is Merrill. Ben is Manny. Paulie is Crony. I wear that all day. That's great.
At least you didn't get like, never mind.
I'm not. Yeah. But these are the kind of things we bandy about on the live stream.
True.
So if you're not, and the best part was Ben just came out of the blue,
like out of nowhere.
We were talking about Manny, our guy Manny that plays third base for the Padres, and Ben all of a sudden now Ben did his live stream outside, which was cool. He wasn't in his house. Beautiful blue sky behind him when we started, and all of a sudden he leans back and he's like, I feel like I'm kind of like the Manny of the show, and I started dying laughing. I was like, more, yes. More. Let me get a little bit more from you. It was like being in therapy. Like, let me more. I want to get more. And after he explained himself, I said, okay, I'll give you that. I will. Because it's the logical
part. I think Manny is an integral part of the team, but also a little apart from it as well sometimes. And I feel like I'm that way. I don't know.
Yeah, and then at the end, Chris says a little Ben Witch project at the end. As the sun started to go down, all you saw was like white teeth, like the sun started to creep.
Yeah, I didn't bring a light out because the sun was like blaring in my face when we started. I was looking toward the west, so we had plenty of light, but then as it set and got darker, I was just disappearing into nothingness.
Yeah, it was fun, man. We always have a good time. I just want to tell the tier ones that are on there, you guys are awesome. And for the rest of you guys too, you guys are awesome too. We do this once a month. Sometimes twice a month, we'll give you a little extra taste. But man, it's so fun to get together. And it's always fun to get together live on the radio. You guys are watching us on YouTube as well. So how was everybody's night, day beyond that? I got to tell you, man, it was probably one of my more least productive days in the last 6 months. And I feel like I needed it with no rest. I was pretty frazzled when I got out of here. And I went home, I got a sandwich, I ate that sandwich, and I crawled into bed. As a grown man, Benny, I was crawled into bed by 11, and the sheets were up over me, and I had a mask on, and I go, I got to get some rest. I cannot start my week feeling like a dead man. And so I did that. Hannah came in. Am I going to go get Bo? I go, could you please go get Bo? Yes, I'll go get him. So she wore one for me. And then he got home. By the time he got home, I was up and at him and ready to go.
Back with the living, which was nice.
Back with the living.
Yesterday was a good buffer day for me. I think everyone needs a buffer day between vacation and like fully back into life. It's hard to. Vacation's actually more exhausting sometimes than work.
You get to vacation depression
a little bit, yeah.
Did you have it yesterday?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? You didn't wake up yesterday and grab your golf clubs and go to the golf course.
Yeah, totally, totally different life. Get up early, do the show. But it was kind of a light day at Channel 10 because we had an live American Idol show, so we only had a couple of short newscasts. I only had one story to do, so I actually got home a little bit earlier than usual.
Still doing that?
Which one?
American Idol?
They still do American Idol, yes.
Who won last year?
I have no idea.
Who won the year before?
I have no idea.
What about the year before? How about the year before? Anybody know the year before?
Can you name one winner in the last 20 years?
Probably not.
Kelly Clarkson.
I think that was longer than 20 years ago.
Pull up the winner sheet and let's guess them. Scotty McCreery.
I mean, it used to be, it was on Fox when it started, but it moved over to ABC the last 6 or 7 years.
Ruben Niebla? What was his name? Ruben
Studdard.
Ruben Studdard. Isn't he in prison now for something?
I don't know.
Have any of those people gone on to do anything other than Kelly Clarkson? Clay Aiken?
Carrie Underwood.
Did she win it?
She didn't win, I don't think.
How did she not win?
I don't know.
Kelly Clarkson was in 2002.
That was 23 years ago. All right, so I missed that.
Ruben Studdard.
Adam Lambert.
Did he win?
He didn't win either.
Wait.
No, Carrie Underwood won.
Oh, she did win?
Okay.
Season 4 in 2005. Taylor Hicks. Jordan Sparks.
Was that country dude with the white? He was like 25, but he had gray hair?
I think so, yeah.
All right, what else?
Yes, that was him.
Who else?
Jordan Sparks.
That's a woman.
Yep, she's good.
Fantasia Barrino.
Is that right?
Her?
No, I know the name.
The black
Scotty
girl with
McCreary.
the short
Scotty
hair.
McCreary, I got that right.
Philip Phillips.
Philip Phillips. We used to play him on 94.9, and I would want to die. I remember going to my boss. We're playing Philip Phillips from American Idol. You know, we could be playing like the Pixies and stuff, right?
Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer
has
Hudson,
been very
she was talented.
successful.
Yep.
Very successful.
She didn't win.
She didn't
She
win.
didn't win, no. They seem to make some. There were at least some stars from the early going, but last few years I've got no idea.
Ruben died. I didn't know that. Well, all right. You know how we do it on this show.
I almost said a bad word.
Wasn't expecting to do this today.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult.
He's not dead.
So,
He's not dead.
Oh, never mind. Somebody said he was dead in the chat.
Dead. 46 years old.
I'm so sorry, Ruben. Paulie, can you get Ruben Studdard on the line today?
Now that we know he's alive,
great. There's going to be listen, some turd internet aggregator is going to pick this up.
We didn't quite get to the shout out to his family part. Paulie caught it off just in time.
Some aggregator is gonna pick something like Ruben Studdard dead at 46. Like, wait, what?
Right, you know what?
No. Yeah, listen.
I'm gonna go to his tour dates. We're gonna now buy tickets to one of his shows.
You know what? I'm gonna buy some of his vinyl just to support him because I feel bad that we just killed him. That's terrible.
Wow.
Who else? Yeah, he may now as East County Chris points out.
August 2nd in Temecula at Thornton Winery.
You're joking?
We are going to go see
going.
Ruben Studdard.
It's at a winery. That's great.
It's fantastic. The Ben and Woods curse, bro. If I'm him, I'm not leaving my house for it. We need it's got to be a 10-day buffer. If he makes it the next 10 days, I think we're
going to feel really bad if he does.
Something happened. What if something happened to him today? So I'm blaming somebody in the chat. Somebody said he died, and oh no, that's so sad. I thought somebody went to prison or something. I have no idea, but my wife is in the chat. She says American Idol makes stars, but I also don't know what she considers a star because I haven't. What are who won the last few? Any idea? Who won? Like you? It's on your network. Don't you know this?
I really don't watch it at all. I'm sorry. Let's see. Winners by year.
Last year's winner was.
See if we've ever heard of
Abby Carter.
Nope.
Never heard of her.
Iam Tongi. Noah Thompson.
Iam Tongi.
Yeah. Or I am Tongi. Noah Thompson. Chase Beckham. Just Sam. Lane Hardy. Maddie Pop.
I'm reading. There's little
Trent
descriptions
Harmon.
for each winner. Just Sam is a woman that won in season 18, and it was the first ever remote finale due to the pandemic.
Okay.
So she like sing remotely from home.
Yeah, into a Zoom.
Wow.
That probably sounded really good.
Yeah.
I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. Sir, can you you have to turn the volume down on your computer. Jeez, man.
Maddie Pope won season 16.
I haven't heard of any of these
Sang
people.
a Rainbow Connection duet with Kermit the Frog
Oh,
during the epic
all right.
2-hour
Well,
finale.
Listen, if you guys are still watching American Idol, good for you. Hopefully one of these people break through in the next, how do you keep it on if they're
Who
not?
judges that show now?
I have no idea. That's the other thing.
Does Randy still do it?
Is he still there?
That's
a no from me, dog.
I think they've passed on. I think the judges have turned over
Are they
quite a
completely?
bit.
I think he was
Luke
the last
Bryan,
one.
Katy Perry, and
Oh.
Lionel Richie.
Lionel, buddy, you were in the Commodores, dude. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You were a Commodore. You're Lionel Richie. You don't have to do this. Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, and Lionel Richie. All right. Well, maybe
Randy Jackson hasn't done it since 2013.
12 years ago.
Simon left to do his own show.
Yeah.
He was really the star of American Idol, more than any of the singers. It was Simon's show.
All right. Well, I did not know I needed a massive update on American Idol. I don't think we were planning on. I know for a fact we weren't planning on doing that. Carrie. It's Carrie Underwood on there. All right. Maybe get me to watch with Carrie Underwood on there. Not Katie. Carrie. This is your network, by the way. If your bosses are listening, somebody said it's Carrie Underwood on there.
I thought it was Katy Perry. I thought I was pretty sure Katy Perry was one of the judges, unless they changed it this year.
They might have. That's a no from me, dog. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, that's your update on American Idol. Haven't watched it since maybe the first or second season. I remember really pulling for Daughtry because that was really in that era.
Beatrice says they did change it this year.
They did change it. Okay.
Carrie Underwood, Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie with Ryan Seacrest hosting.
That dude is still just crushing it.
He's the only one that's been,
probably makes $25 million a year for that show. Something insane. Well, that's it. All right, we'll talk some baseball. We got a preview of Padres Giants certainly today. Yeah, the Giants coming to town, playing good baseball. Padres are not playing good baseball. Something's got to give. Should be a really elite pitching matchup tonight. We'll talk about all of that. And that is the most American Idol it's the most American Idol I've ever talked about.
I think we started it by saying I had a light night because of American Idol. So
you love American Idol.
I had my buffer day. It was nice. I got home, did the live stream, got to bed a little bit early. I was in bed by like 9 o'clock,
which is insane for you.
For me, I didn't even see the end of the Warriors game. I woke up in the morning and found out that they won.
Yeah,
in a dramatic fashion over the Houston Rockets. So anyway, we will get started with the menu. We'll let you know, of course, who's coming up on a Tuesday. All next after Kelly's traffic. It's Ben and Woods. Good morning, everybody, on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, on this Tuesday morning, if you are sitting at work or you are about to go get in your car and you thought to yourself, man, I got to get something new. I need to get a new car ASAP. Highly recommend heading down to Sedano Ford in La Mesa. Got some really cool spring deals for you. They're going to give you a shot at employee pricing as well at Sedano Ford. It's a local veteran-owned dealership right there in La Mesa. And with this employee pricing, that's what they pay. So it's usually reserved for the folks behind the scenes. It's now wide open to you. Check out the brand new 2025 Ford Maverick, just $219 a month, tariff-free. And that is incredible value on a really, really sharp vehicle. So swing on by Sedano Ford in La Mesa. Check it out for yourself or make it super easy and head on over to SedanoFord.com today. You can check out all the inventory, all the offers, and claim your spring deal before it's gone. Head on over again to SedanoFord.com for complete details. If you do happen to pop by, let them know Woodsy from 97.3 The Fan sent you, please.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Padres Giants tonight. Brief 2-game series at Petco Park, but an interesting one. And we will be talking about it on the program this morning. Did you know, Woods, that there's only been 6 games played all season long between NOS teams?
Yeah.
Padres swept the Rockies 3 games, and the Dodgers swept the Rockies 3 games. There has been no games between the Padres and Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Giants. There's been no games between the Giants have not played a single NL West game. The Diamondbacks have not played a single NL West game. And we're almost into May at this point. So it's a pretty late start to the division competition, which means you're going to get a lot of those games now moving forward the rest of the season as they get them all in. And, given the start the NL West is off to with, I think, still 4 of the top 10 records in the league or something like that, you're going to have some big games. And these are the first 2 really important, critical ones of the year, just kind of like a bit of an appetizer for NL West play.
Yeah, no question about it. Like you said, the Padres got to beat up on the Rockies. Dodgers got to beat up on the Rockies. Everybody else is waiting their turn against the Rockies. But it's the games against each other, which are the ones that we all kind of circled at the beginning of the year and went, all right, these are the ones where, it's the West is so good. Is it going to be a bunch of teams just cannibalizing each other, just going right after each other? And man, you got to hold your ground when it comes to these games. They're big. And I know it's we're still in April, but those are big games these next 2 days.
Absolutely. So we'll talk about that. Hopefully the return of Luis Ariz and what the Padres need to do to get back on track from their hot start to the season. Is it just getting healthy, or is it more than that? We'll discuss that coming up at the bottom of the hour. And, of course, with Jesse Agler, it is an Incorporator Tuesday. Jesse will join us at 8:35 this morning, and we'll talk Padres baseball with the voice of the Padres here on 97.3 The Fan. Around that, some interesting topics from yesterday. NBA playoffs, sure, but the fallout from the NFL draft continues. We talked a little bit about Shedeur Sanders yesterday. Really interesting exchange between the Bills general manager and a radio program, kind of like ours.
I love this.
In Buffalo, that got a little testy, got a little confrontational. And, I think we all kind of related to that dynamic of you're a fan of the team, you're talking about the team, the GM comes on, he disagrees with your interpretation entirely.
It was great.
And things got kind of interesting. So we'll play that audio coming up in our 7 o'clock hour before we Don't Do This. We'll talk more baseball around the league as well, and all of our regular features like Take on Woods and the Rhyn Report. We've got more boxing tickets to give away today as well for the fight coming up at Pechanga Arena on May the 10th. So stay tuned for all of that coming up this morning on Ben and Woods. As you said, it's an Explore the Space Tuesday after a no-game Monday. First Monday off day of the season, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thursdays off.
They got two off days this week.
And we still have Thursday off this week.
But, listen, for this squad, being able to get away from the ballpark yesterday was probably a good idea. After the sweep at the hands of the Tampa Bay Rays, man, it was probably a good idea. Shut the mother down, get a little reset, and get some nice rest, and then come back ready to take on the Giants tonight. Because the way that was going, if they just continued to play the Tampa Bay Rays, the way it was going, I don't think we would have scored a run for 3 more days if we had to play. I mean, they needed a hard reset. Going to be interesting to see what the lineup looks like tonight. Will Luis Ariz be back in it? I sure hope he will. I think early reports are good. I believe Jason Hayward is also potentially could join the team tonight. Is that correct?
Oh, I didn't.
That's
see
what
that
I heard
one,
yesterday. So
that would be promising.
We'll keep our eyes peeled on that. But yeah, which means when guys come back, somebody's got to go at some point. So it's going to be interesting to see what AJ Preller and company do today.
All right, we can speculate about some of the moves as well. We'll get to all of that coming up. Let's take a quick timeout, and then we'll talk some Padres baseball on the other side. What should be a pretty big series starting tonight against the San Francisco Giants. That is coming up next here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, Benny just mentioned the NBA playoffs, and Underdog is the best place to make picks during the playoffs with their extender promo. With that extender promo, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. You can start a playoff series using your Game 1 boost, continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boosts, and the more fun you can have, certainly. To play, all you have to do is download the Underdog app, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats, like points, assists, rebounds, but you can also mix and match sports. Really having a fun time on Underdog. I play a lot of baseball, Underdog. So check it out. Once you feel good about your picks, you can play with as little as $1. If you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app today. Sign up with promo code WOODS to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code WOODS. Must be 18 and over, 19 and over in Alabama, Nebraska. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
See some people in the YouTube chat that's planning to be at the game tonight. I was discussing with my ABC 10 colleague Jared Aarons yesterday morning. He said, yeah, he was looking at ticket prices for tonight. Seems like the Tony Gwynn rookie bobblehead is a popular giveaway item because tickets are tough to come by for this one. There were a few Gallagher Square tickets left, but the resale market for like nothing left in the bowl. You had to go to the secondary market, and he was looking, hundreds of dollars to try to get in just into a Tuesday night game at Petco Park. And remember, only the first 40,000 fans are guaranteed that Tony Gwynn rookie bobblehead. So get there early tonight if you're planning on attending.
I'm so glad that I got my Tony Gwynn rookie bobblehead that I pilfered from this radio.
That's right,
station.
You did get the one, yeah.
Well, I lost the last one to Scraby, and I got in before Scraby got in. Now, Scraby gave away our tickets last week. We had tickets to give away, and he just decided, I'll just do what I want and give away their tickets, and ended up giving up tickets. So I thought, well, turnabout is fair play. I know you're going to want this Tony Gwynn bobblehead. I'm going to take it for my children who love bobbleheads before you get to it.
What if Tony Gwynn Jr. comes and says, I never got one. Can I have yours, please?
I would say absolutely not. I'm sure you know someone that can hook you up with that. You, of all people, do not need my version of your dad's bobblehead. It is such a good bobblehead, by the way.
It is
like,
a good one.
It is really, really cool. So I enjoyed Tony on TV. He was on TV over the weekend, and Don doesn't get to roast Tony Gwynn Jr. like he does Mud. You can't roast Tony Gwynn Jr. Like, there's no roasting of him. Now, Mud was also a big leaguer. Don does not treat him as such. Don doesn't treat him like, oh yeah, you pitched in the big leagues for a long time, like, pretty well beloved. Tony Gwynn Jr., you're not messing with him. And when Tony tries on the cool new hat, he looks incredible in it. Mud, not so much. The reversible
the bucket hat,
6-sided bucket hat. Tony looks like he was born to wear it.
In Don's eyes, Tony Gwynn Jr. was a baseball player.
Yes.
Mud dressed up like a baseball player.
Yes, that's how he treats him. Mm-hmm.
Hey, career-wise, Mud probably had the better.
Do you think so?
Career of the two.
The best part over the weekend, I was dying. He goes, so how many hits did you get? And Tony goes, I really don't even remember, which is weird, I think, for a baseball player not to remember, because they're all like, they know up and down. Don goes, what, about 1,000? And Tony goes, I don't know. Let me look. 30 seconds later, Don goes, 381. Not even really close to 1,000, was it? It was so funny. Those guys have good banter.
Let's just get right
to
Who
the
had the
debate. Who had the better career?
I don't know enough.
Let's see if we can piss off all of our friends today.
I don't know enough about Baseball Reference versus Fangraphs.
Sure.
I'm going off Baseball Reference, which is B-War.
You're such an idiot.
Yeah,
you're an idiot.
So
imagine having a radio show using B-War in the year 2025. What a joke. What a joke. There's somebody in their car saying that right now.
I know.
Use the other one.
I already got Baseball
Reference.
All right. Mark Grant played in the majors from 84 to 93.
Okay.
Yeah, nearly a decade in the big league.
He amassed a career B-WAR of 2.2.
Okay. Positive WAR player.
Yeah, not bad.
2.2 for Mudley.
Tony Gwynn Jr., you're going to go higher or lower than 2.2 for a career WAR?
So Good defense.
Played from 06 to 2014.
I'm going to say higher than 2.2.
You would be right.
All right.
5.1.
Nice. All right. Yeah, shorter career, but more impactful. Let's see. He had a 2.9 WAR for the Padres in 2009. That was his best season.
He had a good year that year. I saw because I looked up his stats that
350 OBP. Yeah, and a solid year that year that accounted for more than half of his career WAR. But he had that one really good year, and then a pretty good follow-up year in 2010 with the Padres as well. He was definitely better with the Padres than anyone else.
What about Scanman? While we have everybody up, Bob Scanlon.
Scanlon.
Is he all right? Let's do Scan v Mud.
Ooh, I would say
Scan was higher.
Yeah.
Scan would get some saves and stuff.
And we would be wrong.
What?
Very wrong.
Scan's career WAR was just 0.6, went 20-34 with a 4.63 ERA in his career. He played from 1991 through 2001, about a decade
10-year
on and
career.
off. Yeah.
Wow, man, that's incredible. It was funny. Bo walked up to me yesterday and said, "Dad, did Tony Gwynn play for the Dodgers?" And I go, "No, Tony Gwynn played for the Padres." He goes, "I saw highlights." And I go, "Oh, you mean Tony Gwynn Jr.?" He goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Oh yeah, he did." And his face like went white. Like he couldn't wrap his head around the fact. I go, "Buddy, sometimes you need a job, right? And in Major League Baseball, you need a job." They offered him a job. He's going to take it. It's a big league club. He goes, "All right, I guess that makes sense." I walked in, Ben, on the Amazon Alexa. He's sitting at our desk, like in the kitchen nook, and Alexa's on, and it's baseball highlights. So I walk up behind him. It's Chad Billingsley of the Dodgers pitching against the Washington Nationals. I go, "What are you watching?" He goes, "Baseball highlights." I go, "From 2003? What are you doing?" And he's like, "I don't know, just watching baseball highlights." I'm like, "Why don't you pull up something modern?" He goes, "The Nationals were pretty good." I go, "Yeah, they won the World Series." And he goes, "Oh yeah, we haven't won a World Series." I go, "Yeah, he's really becoming a good Padres fan. He wants to learn his history, but that's crazy." All right, so Tony, clearly the best player on the broadcast team.
Don knows his stuff.
Don knows his stuff.
And just to completely give you all the info, Mike Pomeranz was a 9-18 with a 4.73 ERA in 3 minor league seasons.
Okay. All right.
So never made the big leagues, never got past a high A ball with Salem in the Carolina League.
Interesting.
But there you go. There's your stats of your Padres television and radio broadcast.
That was baseball reference. Tomorrow morning, we'll do fan graphs between Mark and Tony.
Just do it now. Now I have to know what the difference is. I have to know what the difference is of these guys. But clearly, Tony Gwynn Jr., the best player available.
You did. All right. Speaking of numbers, one of our colleagues put together some numbers on the Padres' recent struggles that I think are relevant going into the series against the Giants tonight. We can get into some of those right after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by MTS. Take the trolley to the game, running every 15 minutes or better. As we're seeing a lot of brake lights on northbound 125 from the 54 up to just past Hamishaw. There's the culprit, stalled car in middle lanes. Other than that, things looking pretty good. Starting to see some of the usual slowing in the usual spots. Yep, looking at you, West 52 heading out of Santee. Don't let traffic drag your day down, whether headed to the office or game day. Go the easy way with MTS. Trolleys run every 15 minutes or better throughout the day. Learn more and plan your trolley trip at sdmts.com. That's sdmts.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So now on FanGraphs, Mark Grant's WAR was only 2.1, his F WAR.
Okay, Mudley was 2.1 on Fangraphs.
And then you go over to Tony Gwynn Jr.
Yep.
He amassed a 4.5.
4.5. They were a little more
critical.
More strict over there.
And then
Scanman. Scan's got to be negative. Or just flat zero.
Up here. Bob Scanlon was 91 to 2001. That's the right one here. 3.1.
Oh, Scan. They loved him on F4.
They love him on F4.
Better than Mud on F4.
Interesting.
Man, these are fun debates for them to have on the plane.
That's why you always have to take those numbers and at least put them in perspective. Because
don't take them with a grain of salt, but put them in perspective.
Even the people who do it for a living disagree on what's the value and what's the importance of certain aspects of the game. You can always make it simple, and Chris always does a good job in the afternoon with his numbers.
I was just going to say, I need to thank Elo. I like when he tweets these out because I always use them.
Yeah, he breaks it down, and he said, so Padres offensive woes while losing 8 of their last 11 games. Team batting average is 204. It's just 164 with runners in scoring position. So that's a big part of it right there, because the Padres the last year plus have seemed like, they've come through more often than not 50% of the time, but you just feel like they were better when they had runners on. When they needed to get those runners in, they were just a little better than they were the rest of the time, but they haven't been lately. And if you throw Tatis out of there, it's 189, even worse when you take out, because Fernando's still hit pretty well over the last 11 games, but everyone else hasn't. Manny obviously struggling, 8 for 40. In his last 6 games, no RBIs in his last 6 games.
That's not right. He had an RBI.
He did have the
sack
that was before the game because he had the sack fly.
This came out yesterday, though.
Yeah,
right?
Well, that's true. Maybe he missed the RBI.
Come on, Elo.
Xander Bogaerts 6 for 36. His last RBI was April 8th.
That's
the catchers. I thought this was interesting because remember at the beginning of the season we were all like,
"Oh, they're pretty good.
It's not that so bad."
It's,
Maldonado and Diaz are coming through.
It's putrid.
3 for their last 35. That's an 0.86 average over the last 11 games. And then he said players up from the minors. So guys like Connor Joe, Oscar Gonzalez, who've been Tirso Ornelas, 89 at-bats, 191 average, just 3 extra base hits in that entire sample size for the guys who've been called up from the minor leagues to fill in for the injured players.
That's pretty tough. In the last week, they have a combined F4 of -1, last in Major League Baseball. Their weighted runs created plus, Ben, 41. That's 28th in Major League Baseball. And they have the 6th highest K rate at 35.3 since the 21st, so about a week, which is that's not characteristic of them. But again, you're playing the depth here, and they are 22nd in walk rate at only 7%. Which again, we talked yesterday about how they're pressing, how they're trying to do too much. Of course, you get accused of making excuses for them when you say that, but that's clearly it. They've gone away from their identity because they've lost the players that are best at not striking out. They've lost the players that are best at taking walks, working counts, things like that.
Yeah, Jake walks a lot. Arise doesn't strike out at all.
Yeah, and so and Jackson Merrill is an elite player. He does everything right. And then when you are Fernando Tatis, you're Manny, you're Xander, you're whoever else that's still in the lineup, you're still there in the trenches. You're like, I got to do more. So that you chase more. You walk less. You're trying to do more when you're up there. So it all kind of comes together. Again, to kind of reiterate the point, you need your guys back. Now, again, it's no magic salve, right? It's not. There's no proof that those guys are going to come back and pick up right where they left off or get even better. But I'm sure going to take my chances with that than what we've got right now.
Right. It feels as though those are numbers that could change on a dime, though, especially if they start getting some of those players back. I don't think that there's any long-term concerns for the Padres this year. I really don't. Once Arise, hopefully comes back tonight, Jackson Merrill within the next week or so, it just changes that lineup. Take out 191, 89 at-bats and 3 extra base hits and replace it with guys who are hitting 250 to 320 with some power. They get on base a lot. Any team would, absolutely skyrocket in those situations. That's a huge upgrade the Padres are about to make by getting some of their players back. Yeah. You don't really need to hit the panic button. You just need to hit the patience button for a couple more days.
I think panic and patience, it's a fine line. It really is. I mean, if those guys don't come back and ready to go, right? Like I saw Jackson getting some ABs yesterday. He was not cleared to run, but was getting some ABs.
Yeah, he was in Arizona. He got 4 at-bats, and
I think he got
but
a couple knocks.
They told him not to run the first.
Hit it and stop. We have guys in fantasy camp that do that. They're 70 and can't run, so they just get to hit, and you have a runner for them. But man, I don't know. I hope I hope that when they come back, they're ready to jam, and it will lengthen the lineup. It does, move Gavin Sheets out of that 2-hole, get Luis Arise back there. You feel a little bit better, especially if he comes back tonight. But it's not like Jason Hayward was tearing the cover off the ball when he was getting a little bit better. Plays good defense, so I don't know. It gives you more options off the bench as well for Mike Shields. It's just more tools in the toolbox.
I think the instinct is fans when the team struggles offensively. You want AJ Preller do something. Trade a minor leaguer, pick up a bat, sign someone, to shake things up. But if you did that, then where is this new player going to go when all of your old players come back? They don't really have any spots for new players. They just have to wait it out until the old players come back. It would be foolish to spend any of your capital right now on a Band-Aid for, 5 games, 6 games. And then what do you do with that? Then you just have to release that player because there's no room left on the roster for them.
I do think, you could upgrade a position, and I don't know that it would be a Band-Aid squeezing someone else out. Problem is, who do you get? Yuli Gurriel does not need to be the DH anymore. I think that's been established.
He hasn't played.
He's getting it. They're putting him in. He's getting an A, B.
He hasn't played regularly, even with all these injuries. That tells me that Yuli's near the end of his run.
Why is he here?
Because there's no one else to bring up.
Campy, you could bring up Campy, which again, 6 times the charm for Campy. If he's just going to swing it, I guess I'll take my chances there. But I don't know what the reasoning is for hanging on at this point. He's a designated hitter. That's really just a designated at this point. He's just
the fact that the Padres are so injury ridden and you rarely see Yuli in the lineup now, it has got to be a sign that his time is probably nearing its end, unless he absolutely turns on a dime and starts crushing the ball. I can't see Yuli being on this team much longer.
I don't know how many offers he was getting when he was a free agent. Probably not a lot based on when he signed and what he signed for. But this had to have been the best possible opportunity he could have asked for.
I would imagine, hitting in a good lineup, good team.
He made the team out of spring training, and you still don't really know what your role is going to be. And then half the team gets hurt. Be like, bro, the floor is yours. Like, you have all the opportunity in the world, and it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
If they need offense badly. And if they thought Yuli was going to provide it, he would be hitting. He'd be hitting in a significant part of the lineup. And the fact that he is not is very telling at this point. And I don't know what the story is with Luis Camposano. I know that they don't really trust him behind the plate. They like the catchers that they have working with the pitchers that they have. So if they ever brought him up, it would probably be strictly as a pinch hitter DH type of guy. They may need to consider that just because of how the offense has struggled. But it is kind of awkward.
Still like how the catchers are handling the pitchers, because I think that's declined as well.
I do too.
I'm seeing a lot of dropped balls.
I don't necessarily like how they're phically catching the ball. I think how they're calling the games and
what are we talking about?
Call it from a bucket.
I think that Mike Schilt values
more than anything
the relationship between the catcher and the pitcher more than the actual physical job of catching.
1,000
and
million
I think
%.
they are extremely high on both Elias Diaz and Martin Maldonado on the communication with their pitchers, the calling of the games, being on the same page of those guys. I think they both are giving those guys like A+ marks.
Yeah, we talked to Michael King. Were you here? Oh, you weren't here.
I was not here.
Yeah, we talked to Michael King and we asked him about that relationship. And he had nothing but great things to say about Elias Diaz. And he caught his complete game, and Michael King's locked in. So for me, I look at it and I go, all right, well, keep Diaz because he's been the better of the two. That said, Maldonado's such a veteran and knows the game. I mean, the praise that he got from Schilt in spring training, he's like, look, there's Yachty and then there's everybody else, but Maldy's right there. And I'm like, oh my God, he's never going anywhere. If that's what Schilty thinks of him, he's never going anywhere.
No, I don't think that they're even thinking about making a change at catcher.
I really don't. I don't either. I think you could, but I don't think they're thinking about it.
I think they're actually legitimately very happy with what they've gotten. Would they like to
wild.
Get more offense?
Yeah.
Everybody would like to get more offense, but I don't think it's nearly as big of a priority as fans believe it to be. They will be going forward with Elias Diaz and Martin Maldonado until one of those guys probably gets hurt.
Yeah.
I would say. And I don't think there's a path for Campusano to get back to the big leagues as a catcher with the San Diego Padres right now, barring injury.
I don't think so either. I mean, again, if he want to come up, he played some first base too? Like you could
a little bit.
Yeah, you could.
They put him in the outfield once or twice, if I remember.
You could
correctly.
potentially put him at first base, and yeah, man. Again, tonight's going to be one of those games. You got Logan Webb on the bump. We'll do a more of a preview of it later, but you got Logan Webb on the bump. He's a tough customer, but guess what, man? We've got our tough customer on the hill as well. I'm really stoked for this matchup tonight. I got a buddy that's a Giants fan. We were kind of tweeting back and forth. It's like, who can strike first? Because we have the best bullpen. They have the second best bullpen. Their offense is a little bit better than ours right now because everybody's offense is a little bit better than ours in the last week. Who can strike first? I think it's going to be really important to come out of the chute tonight and try to steal a couple early.
All right, yeah, we'll get a little more specifics on the Giants coming up in our next hour, but I am very intrigued by this story that popped up yesterday. It was an interview with the Buffalo Bills general manager, Brandon Beane, and a radio show in Buffalo that went a little bit sideways. And this is kind of the stuff that we have to think about when we're talking to AJ or Mike Schild or whatever, because our views don't always jive with the views of the organization.
Always.
Rarely jive with the organization.
Why would you listen to us if you're them?
So we'll bring that to you coming up next. Hour number 2 of Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. You were telling me yesterday that you guys had a good interview with AJ Preller on Friday.
We did. A lot of fun.
Which was nice. I'm glad.
Are you?
Yeah, very glad that it went well.
Did it hurt your feelings a little bit?
No, I mean, the worst thing would be if I was gone and something like this happened to you guys that happened to the show in Buffalo when they talked to the general manager of their team.
I would actually enjoy this.
Really?
As a host. I would. I think.
So this is
instead of the canned normal stuff, this is not canned.
So post NFL draft, talking Buffalo Bills on WGR 550, the Jeremy and Joe show.
Okay.
Land an interview with Bills general manager Brandon Beane, who happened also to be listening to their show before the interview. And I don't feel like that's usually the case with AJ Preller when he comes on. I don't think he's locked in necessarily to every Ben and Woods conversation that happens on the program.
I would be massively surprised if he ever listened to our show ever.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
But apparently Brandon Beane did at least that morning tune in for a while knowing he was going to appear and discuss the Bills draft. Bills.
No, it was. I was just listening to the last few minutes of your show before I came on, waiting on here.
All right.
Sounds like 2018 all over with you guys.
Well, how so?
Well, you guys were bitching in 2018 about Josh Allen. You guys wanted Josh Rosen, and now you guys are bitching that we don't have a receiver. I don't get it. Like, we just hold on, let me talk. We just scored 30 points in a row for 8 straight games. A year ago, I get you guys asking why we didn't have receivers, but I don't understand it now. You just saw us lead the league in points when you add all the postseason. No one scored more points than the Buffalo Bills, including the Super Bowl champions. So you just saw us do it without Stephon Diggs, same group. How is this group not better than last year's group? Our job is to score points and win games. Where do we need to get better? Defense. We did that. So I get it. You got to have a show and you got to have something to bitch about, but bitching about wide receiver is one of the dumbest arguments I've heard.
I love that, by the way, because I think if if we were sitting here and AJ Preller was like, you're talking about we needed a DH. Well, we went out and got so-and-so. Yeah, but he's not good. Like, he's not hitting, right? You could defend that. For these guys, did they have a strong defense?
I think the argument would be, let's go back a week when the Padres were red hot. And if we had AJ Preller on then, and we said, you're not getting any production from the DH spot. You're not getting a lot of offense from the catching spot. What are you going to do about it? And AJ would say,
we're blank and blank.
We're winning games. Our average is better than any other average in the league. What the heck are you guys talking about? Our job is to score offensively, is to score runs and win games. And we have been doing that better than any other team in baseball.
Is it a fair argument, though, for those Bills hosts to say, okay, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. Did we win the Super Bowl? No, we didn't. Does Josh Allen still need help in the wide receiving corps? Yeah, and that's what we were talking about. You can kind of flip it on the GM and say, where's the guarantee that you guys are going to score 30 points a game again? Like, with the guys that you have, there's no guarantee that, hey, we're bringing everybody back and you're going to get the same production. Why wouldn't you improve? I'm just putting myself in their shoes. The GM is ultimately right. He's the guy that's got to build the team. And yes, people on the radio need stuff to bitch about. There's no question. And we're good at it. We bitch all the time. So I think I would turn it around and say, all right, well, so clearly you didn't think that was a need. You did address the defense. Kudos for that. But you had an opportunity to draft X at this position and you didn't. How does Josh Allen feel about that? Doesn't he want more weapons? You guys, so you're, by your logic right now, you're good offensively. You expect the exact same output because that's what you just said on our airwaves. So when you guys don't score 30 points a game, we can come back to this conversation. And I think that's a fair adult type discussion. And did they respond? Or is that where it cuts off?
That's where it
cuts off. That's the only thing, of course, that made the clip.
I didn't search it out and listen to the whole interview, so I don't know how it went the rest of the way.
Yeah, Keegan says, imagine AJ telling you, I heard you guys bitching about Xander. It's the same bitching as last year. Like, yep. Indeed. You can't. He couldn't get mad at us for complaining about Xander Bogaerts' lack of production. I don't think.
Even if the team was riding high and winning games and scoring
we were.
runs?
We were.
Because so were the Bills.
Yeah.
But you can always be concerned about the future. If you're a fan, being a fan means being concerned about the future.
And for baseball fans, you know when the future is? It's the next game, right? I thought about this a lot yesterday. How do you guys, as baseball fans, how do you judge players? Because I'll tell you, and I see it a lot on social media. I've been guilty of it myself. How do you judge everyday players? How they're doing this week? Is it really game to game? Is it really at bat to at bat? Because I don't know that that's entirely fair. I like is a series to series. You know, oh man, we had a 3-game set. You hit.
I think it's week to week.
Is it week?
I think week to week is fair.
Okay, should it be week to week? Because I'm seeing a lot of AB to AB, and that's tough, man. That's tough. You can have 3 of your worst ABs ever, and then hit a missile in the gap to win the game. Did you have a good game? Yeah, you did. You went 1 for 4, drove in 2 runs to win the game. That's a damn good game. As I'm trying to teach my little leaguers, don't beat yourself up because you grounded out in the first. Well, man, there's a lot of game to go.
It can't be at bat to at bat because part of the game of baseball is that chess game against the pitcher. If you're facing a starter 3 times, he gets you the first time. What did you learn from that time? You know, and how did you apply it with your next at bat? And then the pitcher is going to counter with something else. And you're trying to stay ahead, but you're not going to win every battle. You're not going to lose every battle when you go up to the plate. I think a week is not the worst. You know, certainly,
right, but
certainly guys have good weeks and bad seasons.
Be honest with yourself, though. Let's all be honest with ourselves. You guys in the listening audience as well. Do you really go week to week? Do you really say, they start a series on Monday, and then on Sunday you go, man, that was one heck of a week for Manny Machado? No. You're watching the game. Xander hits with a double play in the first inning, and you go right to Twitter and be like, get this dude off my team. Get him off my team. I've done it. We've all done it, right? Gavin Sheets was 0 for 2 the other day. I said, Sheets, pumpkin. Then I think he got a knock. And believe me,
that one knock doesn't change.
It doesn't.
The last
it doesn't change the last week. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But, you put that knock together. He comes around to score. Then he gets another knock. And, hey, that last week of production, you don't really care because you won today's game. I really feel like baseball is such a hard game to go game to game by, but I feel like we all do it, and I feel like we're all guilty of it.
So what are the Padres in their last? They're like 3-8 in their last 11.
11, something like
if
that.
If they were
6-5,
7 and whatever, like, would we still be bitching about a lot of the things that we're bitching about?
Or
does the winning put a Band-Aid on it?
Well, if you're 7-5 in your last 12, with this current iteration of the team, with 40% of it injured, you're elated. You're elated at 7-5. My message would be, what are we bitching about, guys? We are keeping afloat.
7-5. If they had the same offensive production, but just happened to come through with the runners in scoring position a few times, as opposed to, leaving those guys out there, they could have won 2 or 3 of those games, and we would be really dealing with the exact same problems, the exact same lineup deficiencies and injuries, but none of us would be unhappy because we'd all say, they've done a really good job holding their own, during this stretch.
There's no doubt.
If they had just found a way to win 2 really more games that they did not win, the 1-0 loss, one of those 4-3-2, 4-2 games, if they had just come up with a couple of more hits, none of us would be unhappy. But they didn't. So now we all feel like there's major problems that need to be addressed.
Yeah, our buddy David J., just one of the smartest guys in now, says that's absolutely the biggest difference between fans and people who are paid to evaluate baseball players and teams is that they cannot go in and evaluate a guy game to game. I think back to the club inside the clubhouse, Craig Breslow, the GM of the Red Sox, addressing the team in spring training for the first time. And he goes, look, I was a player. I don't want to be judged pitch to pitch. I didn't want to be judged even outing to outing, right? Like, judge me on the entirety. We're not going to be watching every single AB. Yeah, we're going to have our numbers and our metrics, but we also know there's more that goes into it. And I do feel like we as fans, myself included, man, I'm telling you, if we get up tonight and Tatis hits a double And Luis Arise, well, if he hits a single, he's scoring. So it's 1-0. Toddy hits a single. Arise hits a single. Manny walks. Base is loaded. Xander Bogaerts comes up and he hits into a 1, 2, 3 double play. I would probably go to Twitter and be like, dude, you got to get this guy out of the cleanup. You got to figure out a new spot. You got to do something instead of waiting for the game to materialize. And I think that's pretty standard.
I really
for
don't
fans.
think I don't feel like I overreact or react week to, game to game, at bat to at bat with the everyday players. I will say though, totally different side of the spectrum. I get it. With pitchers, I'm like start to start.
Start to start. Yeah. How did you do in this start? And I think
Which
that's
is kind of like week to week.
That's a fair way to evaluate a starting pitcher.
But like, I promise you, like Randy Vasquez has a bad start. I'm like, what are we doing now? Is this all we got? This is the best we have? And I'm like, yeah, he had like 4 really quality starts leading up to that one stinker or whatever it is.
David says last May, 99.9% of our fan base didn't just want Higashioka released. They wanted him banished to an ice floe in the North Atlantic. I remember it well. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I think that can be said for Xander Bogaerts. We do have a little bit of a body of work since he's been here. There's been a decline and not off to the best start this season. Not really hitting the ball hard like he was even at the very, very beginning of the season. So I hope he can turn it around. He's big for us. I
think when it comes to the time frame of evaluation, like Major League Baseball names a player of the week.
Yeah.
Now, is that a significant award? No. But it's at least enough time that you can judge who's hot, who's really in a good stretch. They don't name a player of the day in Major League Baseball because that is too small. Even if you went 4 for 4 with a great night, it doesn't mean you're hot. You can have a week where you go 0 for 3, 0 for 3, 0 for 4, 4 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 4. Did you have a good week? Your numbers are probably okay at the end of the week. You hit like 240 with 5 RBIs because you had one great day. Are you having a good week or not?
Didn't have another hit the rest of the week. What would his week look like? With a 4 home run game?
I'm telling you though, you hit 4 bombs in a week.
Nobody's complaining.
Nobody's complaining about that. He was batting. He was terrible before that.
But you do name a player of the week, so I feel like it's fair to at least evaluate a guy based on what his last week's numbers are. But certainly not, one at bat, and certainly not one game.
I'm trying.
You can't really say anything.
I challenge us as a fan base, and myself included. Let's maybe try to be a little more. I'll do whatever you want, but I'm going to challenge myself to be all right. First at bat didn't go the way we wanted. I'm going to try to take the Little League approach with that. Honestly,
I would venture a guess that most players of the week in Major League Baseball had an offer somewhere during that week.
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't all have 7-game hitting streaks the entire week.
Yeah.
They probably had at least one bad game, and they were still the best player in baseball that week.
The nature of
that's the nature
of that game, man.
All right. We've got Don't Do This is coming up in our next segment. I saw this story that kind of scared me a little bit based on something that happened. I don't know if you saw this, to John Elway's agent.
No.
So it scared me personally a little bit, and I will tell you about it and Don't Do This. Coming up next, we got traffic as well. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, Woods and I want to tell you about Trust and Will. Trust and Will is where we went during the holidays when we finally, after so many years of not having documents, feeling like I just don't want to get into it. Why would I spend the time to try to, something that I hopefully don't need for 30 years? But then I realized you just don't know. You do not know what the future holds. And why not just get it done when it's so easy to get it done at trustandwill.com?
Yeah, we had a couple tier ones back to back in the chat yesterday. I remember Brett was one of them. Brett said, guys, thank you so much. Went in, got it done, took 30 minutes, just like you said it would. And now I feel so much better. Got the documents on the way. Going to throw them in the desk like you guys recommended. And then my family knows where they are. If anything happens, I'm covered. So go to trustandwill.com. Use the code FAN, F-A-N, when you check out. You'll get 20% off of the entire deal, and you'll get your estate documents shipped to you. Make sure you get that trust to keep your family out of probate court. But trustandwill.com. Use the code FAN when you check out. You'll be glad you did.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Don't do this. Brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a trust or will online at trustandwill.com. This is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. We were just talking about Trust and Will and how you never know what the future may hold. This story scared me yesterday. It involves John Elway's longtime agent business partner. His name's Jeff Spurbeck. And Jeff suffered a horrific accident at the golf course over the weekend in La Quinta.
Smoked by a ball?
No, he was playing at the Madison Club, and he did something I've done 100 times at least. Hopped on the back of the cart, probably just riding from like one hole to the other.
Just down 50 feet.
Yeah, just go up a hill, just give me a little quick lift. There's already two people in the seats, so just hop on the back.
Ooh.
Something happened. I don't know if he hit a bump or something, fell off the back.
Oh, boy.
Hit his head. His wife and at least one other person quickly noticed he was down, turned around. It was clear something was very wrong. They called for help. Spurbeck was rushed to Desert Regional Medical Center. He is in a coma, and while he's not passed away, doctors have informed his family there's no hope he's going to recover.
You are kidding me.
He's being kept on life support while they prepare to harvest his organs for donation. And I thought about that and go, I try very hard, just secure myself really well when I do that, because it feels pretty safe.
You did it last time we played.
I know.
Maybe
I do it.
Maybe don't do it.
But now you think about it, and I did read somewhere that injuries on the golf course, that the majority of golf course related injuries are related to cart accidents.
Yeah, if you've ever ridden with me, that's the
not slip and falls, not swings where you wrench a muscle or anything like that. It's cart accidents by a wide margin that cause most injuries on the golf course.
That is the worst. Your dad goes out to play a round of golf, jumps on the back of a golf cart, falls off. He's not going to make it.
Yeah.
That's horrific. That's a horrific story. Thanks for that.
Terrible story.
Thank you. You talked about harvesting his organs, and
Good vibes on a Tuesday.
Amazing vibes.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Just that one just kind of hit home to me.
Well, listen, for you want to walk. Take your medicine. You don't like to spend money on carts. So I can see you actually doing that the entire round, just riding on the back.
No, I like to walk. I really do. But usually there's like one spot where there's a long walk between, and it's not so much that I don't want to walk, it's that I don't want to hold everybody up by being the last one to get there because I have to walk the long way. So you go through like a tunnel or something, like you've got that long stretch. It's just the one where you hop on the cart and you go, okay.
I would rather you sit on my lap next time.
Okay, maybe I'll do that.
Do that next time. This is a serious story, but it's nowhere near as serious as that one. I don't know if you guys saw the video over the weekend. You know that Puka Nakua's brother plays football for the Michigan Panthers in the UFL. I did not know this until I saw him reach up into the stands and slap the fire out of a fan who was leaning down talking trash to him. And the league is looking into it. I mean, Ben, he leans down over and he's blah, 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 blah. And Samson Nakua is standing there nodding, yeah, and just whack, as hard as he can, slaps this dude. Credit to this guy. Guy barely flinched. I mean, it was a good, hard shot, and he barely flinched. So they are now, obviously the league is looking into it because that can't go unpunished in the league. But an even bigger problem is the St. Louis police are also looking into it, Ben, and could potentially.
Is the guy upset about it?
I think he's pressing charges. I think they're conducting a thorough investigation into the incident. We're working to obtain video from the Dome at American Center. May have captured what led up to the encounter.
Is it still wrong if the guy decides, you know what, I was being a jerk?
Yeah,
and,
I deserved that.
I deserve to get that slap. And he, would, if you were the league and the fan had that attitude, if he wasn't pressing charges and the fan simply said, you know what, I deserve that.
I'll wear it.
I deserve that. Would you still discipline Samson Nakua?
Yeah, probably for a game.
I mean, you can't just let everybody. All right, well, the guy's mouthing off. You just go ahead and
just get to punch
teach him a lesson.
Yeah,
you can't do that if you're a player, obviously. But a fan can also say, you know what, I probably earned that.
Yeah, had a few too many.
Yeah,
probably got a little loose with the lips and probably deserved that. So he got him good. I mean, really, really good. His head was hanging over. I mean, he was in his face, and he just slapped him. So we'll see. We'll see if any, will that put a huge damper in the ratings of the UFL? I wonder. That's the biggest problem.
I have not watched one UFL game.
Didn't even know it was a league.
You didn't know it was a league?
Not really.
Right. And then we have a special guest to deliver our do this for today.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
I mean, I wouldn't call him a guest. He works on the show.
He does,
He's a part
but he doesn't
of the
usually.
show.
He doesn't usually pipe in. It's usually back and forth on the do this with.
I wonder if
one of us,
if Getty Lee and Alex Lifeson used to call Neil Peart a guest. Hey, our guest is going to do a nice drum solo. We're going to walk off.
We know he's here every single day with us,
just crushing,
no matter where we're at.
He's crushing the drum,
delivering for us night after night.
Special guest Neil Peart, everybody.
We decided to let him have his little fun time.
He's in the band.
He's going to play Rockstar for a few minutes.
Never mind. Don't do this. Will be just delivered by regular old Paul. He's not special at all. Does that make you feel better?
Yes.
He is not even a little bit special. He's just Paul.
Just part of the show.
Just Paul Reindl here for do this. Go ahead, just Paul.
Thanks, Woodsy. We will.
Special guest. Please put that in the round report. Special guest, Paul Reindl. That's the greatest thing ever. Can we get special guest Paul Reindl shirts made up ASAP?
What a jerk. Okay, so this was actually a little bit more controversial than I thought it was based on some of the feedback, but the Chicago White Sox unveiled their new City Connects. I kind of already forgot that they had the black jerseys with the white pinstripes. It said South Side across. That was
loved those.
Those were great. So how do they follow it up? Well, they followed it up with a collaboration with the Chicago Bulls. And I think the uniforms, I think it's a no-brainer. I think they're awesome. I think they scream Chicago sports.
Well, because they're the most
it looks
successful
like the White Sox,
franchise.
It looks like the Bulls. It's unbelievable.
I think they're really cool too.
I think they knocked it out of the park.
Well, the owner owns both teams, right? Jerry Reinsdorf owns both.
Yep. The White Sox, their chief marketing officer, one of the challenges we had coming out of our first Southside City Connect jersey was how could you match it or top it?
Yeah, because they were really good.
One of the thoughts was pushed right away was that no team has ever done a collaboration between Major League Baseball and an NBA team in a market like Chicago with a history of both teams. How great would it be to be able to collaborate with our partners in the Bulls, along with Nike and Fanatics? And I think they crushed it.
I really do too.
I agree. I think they look really sharp.
Like if I was a White Sox fan, you don't have much. You really don't have much to be excited about until now. Then you go, all right, at least our City Connects look pretty sharp.
Now, will the Chicago Bulls be wearing some like alternate White Sox jerseys?
Because they do alternates in the NBA.
Because I would not, if I was a Bulls player, I don't think I'd want to be putting on White Sox colors at this point.
That's fair. I mean, the colors are cool. Black and white's always a good,
the colors are cool, but the team has been so bad lately that this isn't the time to lean into it. Then again, the Chicago Bulls haven't been particularly good recently. They're definitely drawing hard still on the Jordan years of the Bulls to make us think of these uniforms.
I mean, drawing on the Jordan years, dude, is a very profitable. Obviously, like my kids, 7 and 4, they wear Jordan stuff every single day. Bo has a poster of Michael Jordan on his wall. Bo has never seen him play other than some Last Dance highlights. Like Michael Jordan, still a massive, massive icon. The more you can incorporate that into your franchise, I think that's a good thing for everybody. These look so sharp. They look so sharp. I'm excited to see what the pods do, man. I really am. It's these City Connects.
This is the last year of the
last year of mint and
pink
and blue and all that. Yeah.
So next year the Padres will unveil their second iteration of City Connects.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I'll even lose a little bit of sleep about it is weird at 50 years old when they come out. I'll be a nervous wreck. I have really grown to love the City Connects that we have now. So I hope it's going to be tough to top those in my opinion.
One note on the Bulls White Sox collaboration. I was talking to a buddy who knows somebody in the City Connect department of Nike.
Inside info?
A little inside info. The White Sox in Major League Baseball, they desperately wanted, so those are Nike uniforms. They desperately wanted for these particular City Connect jerseys for the White Sox to have the Jordan brand, the Jordan logo on the chest instead of the Nike swoosh, the Jumpman that everybody knows, that iconic logo. They're like, this is a no-brainer. But Michael Jordan wouldn't return Jerry Reinsdorf's calls.
Ooh.
So they just had to go with the old Nike swoosh. Man. That's just what I heard. That's what I heard.
That's good info.
The Aztecs wear Jumpman.
They do.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Thank you, Paulie. Great job.
And that is and do
Thanks for letting me be here.
You're welcome.
Special guest, Paul Reindl.
Just a regular old member.
Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Man, you really did. You really are old school, Ray. You like to keep your producer down. Yeah, like that's the old school radio.
How does calling someone special keep him down?
Well, you call him a guest.
Trying to elevate him up to higher status.
Well,
he's not just regular old Paul. He's special guest.
Special guest. He's not a guest though.
Everyone should be treated like a guest.
Why don't you just treat me normal?
Just treat him like he's a
you call him Woodsy. Just call me Paul.
Paulie. Yeah, Paulie's going to tell us about it today. Man, you studied under who'd you study under?
Mr. Reindl, your table is ready.
Who did you study under in this business?
You got a problem.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense to me. Paulie, would you grab me a coffee while I tell all of the people here about loan? I'll just be Ben for a minute. I'm going to tell everybody about Loan Pronto. Paulie, grab me a coffee, 2 sugars, lots of cream, please. If you're a homeowner right now, interest rates have plummeted. Time to call Loan Pronto. If you're looking to get cash out of your home's equity, refinance out of a high rate, or do a home improvement project, Loan Pronto can make it happen in a matter of days. Take advantage of this opportunity. Get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home's equity. Pay off all your credit cards. Pay off your car loans. Average homeowner cutting their monthly bills by $1,000. You can go to loanpronto.com for more info. You did not expect to end up in this situation, but it happens, man. Now you can zero out your credit cards, pay off your car loans, all of that, the financial freedom that you deserve. So call Loan Pronto today, 619-207-4600. 4336 or go to loanpronto.com. Once again, 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lenders. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Just saw a clip of AC/DC. If you're in the chat, you don't know that we're playing AC/DC, Highway to Hell right now. Saw a clip of them over the weekend, Benny. They were playing in, I believe, in L.A. It's tough.
Not quite the same as they used to be.
The music sounded good. You can't sing that way for 40 years. I mean, it was tough. Maybe we'll pull a clip for you. It wasn't great. I felt bad, but people were into it. You know,
you can always love AC/DC for the Trevor Hoffman.
Of course. But man, it sounded a little bit rough, man. Oh, they were in Vegas. Yeah, they were. It was rough. We're running out of breath. You know, I believe it was that song too, and it just kind of made me sad, man. It sucks getting old. It's harder.
Well, that's sobering.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Maybe we need some good news. Anyone want some good news?
Yeah.
For the San Diego Padres?
Sure.
Let's see. I got a little bit for you. Did you see that Leo DeVries was named Midwest League Player of the Week yesterday? He has hit 350 with a double, 2 triples, 2 homers, 8 runs batted in, 2 walks, a stolen base. Most of that when he hit for the cycle last Tuesday. I assume you guys talked about that a little bit on Wednesday. He is by far, though, and I don't know the exact age discrepancy, but every time I see it, he's always listed as by far the youngest player in high A ball this year. Now, in any league, this is the Midwest League, but in any league at that level, so he's at Fort Wayne, which is the Padres, upper single A affiliate. Everybody is much older than him at that level, and he's already being named Player of the Week. He's got top 5 in slugging percentage, and he is definitely more than holding his own at the high single A level at the age of 18, which is, needless to say, incredibly encouraging. While obviously Ethan Salas has had a disappointing start to the season that has involved some back injuries, Leo DeVries has been everything the Padres could have hoped for at this point. And perhaps if he continues to do this, could even see a promotion to Double-A by the end of the year. And once you get to Double-A, then you start to at least be in the conversation for a promotion to the big leagues. I do not think we will see Leo DeVries this year in the San Diego Padres uniform, but if he continues this path, there's a very good chance we see him next year at some point.
He is right now in high A ball. He's hitting 258. His OBP is 324. He's slugging 530, and his OPS is 855 right now. He has struck out 15 times in 66 ABs. Probably wants to get that number down a little bit. But yeah, man, I mean, he's got all of what you're looking for. I'm not sure how I'm going to look at his fielding numbers. And I don't know really how to read these. His fielding percentage is 897. That's not great as a shortstop.
Oh, that's definitely still things to work on.
He's kicking it around a little bit, which, by the way, everybody does when they're down there in their development. That's why, again, I see really serious takes, really serious people that we know saying, give him, bring him up. Can't be any worse. Guys, I don't think that any of us really comprehend the difference of an A-ball game and a Major League Baseball game. The pitching is 10 times better. The hitters are 10 times better. If you're kicking it around that much in A-ball, Benny, I can't even imagine what it would look like out of Petco Park. He's not ready.
Now, when you get to Double-A, at least occasionally, you're facing guys who might be big leaguers in a week because they do call up pitchers from there. But in Single-A, you're really not facing any Major League pitching.
Yeah.
And that fielding percentage tells you that he would be a liability right now on the big league level.
No question.
He's just not ready. And, I'm not calling for any fast track to the big leagues. I'm just saying this is very promising.
Well, I think what we're saying is you keep it up. Keep it up, kid. You keep doing that. Keep winning these Player of the Week. Keep establishing yourself. He's going to, he is our number one prospect. Is he not right now? You keep doing that, man, and then a couple years from now, you're going to be the starting shortstop of the San Diego Padres at probably 20 years old, which will be a whole new ball of problems for him to deal with, Benny. So, but certainly glad he's in our organization. Certainly glad he's gotten off to a good start. A little bit concerned about Ethan Salas and being banged up a little bit, but I was talking to some guys over the weekend about Ethan Salas, and I'm telling you, and it's been said by so many people. You want to talk like that kid's glove plays tonight. Put him in gear. He can go catch Nick Pivetta tonight, and you wouldn't miss a beat. It's the offensive side of the ball that but then again, we're not getting much offense from the catchers now.
That's why I actually feel like Ethan Salas is
more of a fast track.
There's at least some chance that you might see him in a few months, simply because if there's no drop-off, if you're not getting any offense from your catchers, and you think that defensively he's going to be more than fine, then you could consider that.
Yeah, not tonight, as David points out. He's on the IL, but next week, the glove would play at Petco Park next week. His defense is that special.
Does the chance of ruining his career by bringing him up, rushing him, bringing him up too early, outweigh the positives of being around the major league clubhouse and learning the ropes a little bit? It's a delicate balance there.
I feel like it's more of a delicate balance for a guy like Leo Dallas DeVries, who look, the catching position is one that is just so difficult. It's difficult. It's why you very rarely see the full package, the elite defensive catcher that can also mash. There's just not very many of those guys anymore. The days of Johnny Bench they're kind of gone, really at this point. There's a couple of guys that stand out in the big leagues, but honestly, man, like if you already don't get offensive production from your catchers and you can have one of the best young catchers with an elite pop time, an elite arm that still doesn't hit, are you hindering his development, or is he helping you? Is he helping you with a huge part of the game in defense? So I don't know, man. Like, I think I'm more likely to bring up a younger catcher that's ready, that's not hitting, than I would be a younger shortstop that's not fielding. I can
see a scenario where I don't know that you're really hurting him by giving him more looks at major league batters, even if he pitchers, even if he struggles for a couple years. If he's providing value defensively, he may not. I mean, if they bring him up, even to start next year, 19 years old at the beginning of the year.
The Pudge Rodriguez track.
And he's the catcher for the Padres. And he doesn't hit for the first 3 years. He may not hit until he's 23 or 24.
Yeah.
And he could still have a really good offensive career, and it may just take him a while to find it. But it actually may be better to try to find it with the major league hitting coaches and, seeing major league hitting, as long as you don't wreck his confidence.
Yeah, right.
And
you say, hey, buddy, you're here to catch.
And I don't think you're going to wreck a guy's confidence by telling him, we think you're a big leaguer.
Yes.
We don't care if you struggle offensively.
We expect you to.
We're expecting you to. Whatever you give us is an added bonus, and we're going to work on it, and eventually you're going to get there. Don't feel any pressure right now that you have to carry this team offensively. We just want you to come catch. I don't think that would wreck someone's confidence to do that.
I just think the catching position is so special, and it's so difficult, again, to find the whole package. It's almost like, hey, man, we got half the package. We got to be happy with half the package and hope it develops into the whole package. Because, again, the defense, I think, plays. And I've heard that from so many people that know a lot more about catching than I do. And, I mean, I could watch him do defensive drills all day. It's one of the most fun parts about going out to spring training. He is an elite catcher. He's got an elite arm. Can he hit enough to stay at the big league level? I don't know, but I know he can catch. I know he can catch at that level. So I would expect to see him up. Obviously, he's a little bit older than DeVries, but not by much, right? A couple of years?
Not even a year.
Not even a year older?
Yeah, I think it's just a little less than a year.
Yeah.
I just saw the smartest take on the Padres' recent struggles.
And let me guess who it's by.
No shocker here, but it's from the Letters to AJ Substack. And I want to get into some of his arguments that I think make a ton of sense and why he's not particularly worried right now about the long-term lineup for the San Diego Padres. And we'll do that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Kearney Mesa Volkswagen. Still a few problems out here. One of them is this collision on southbound 805, just past Nobel. It's over the right shoulder. Accident has cleared on northbound 805 before Imperial. Just watch out for a little residual slowing there. There are reports of a possible brush or encampment fire northbound 163 past the 5. Some smoke visible in the area. And southbound 163 just past Kearney Villa Road. Same deal. Possible brush or encampment fire over to the right shoulder. No tariffs, no gimmicks, just real spring deals at Kearney Mesa Volkswagen. Drive a 2025 Jetta Sport for $249 or a 2025 Taos SE for $259 from your local veteran-owned dealership. more details about these specials, go to KearneyMesaVolkswagen.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So I think there's a thought, and tell me if you guys feel the same way, that when the Padres were playing so well and looking so good offensively, that even with 3 regulars out, yeah, they're gonna struggle a little more, but they're not gonna go from one of the best teams in baseball to one of the worst immediately, right? Why would it have such a huge impact to lose 3 guys, in your lineup? Yes, it's gonna have an impact, but okay, so now they're just a middling team. No, they've been much worse than that, and
well below middling
over the last 10 days plus. And the argument that letters to AJ makes, which makes a ton of sense right here, he calls it the compounding effect of injuries. It's not simply losing the production of Jackson Merrill, which is a blow, losing Jake Cronenworth, losing Jason Hayward, then losing Luis Ariz. All blows in and of themselves. But the chain reaction, he says, is really where the Padres have been hurt, because you actually had some of your lower lineup players in pretty good platoon situations.
Yes.
You kept putting them out in good spots where they had a chance to be successful. Gavin Sheets only was facing righties, bottom of the lineup. He was in a good spot to be successful. When you had, Jake in there, you had the platoon of Brandon Lockridge and Jason Hayward going in there was pretty successful. Even when Tyler Wade was brought up, you could put him at second base and you'd have Lockridge out in center. Now Wade has to play center field. And every time you have another injury, you're putting now Oscar Gonzalez has to take more at-bats than he should be taking. And he's been struggling more. Every single guy is being asked to do more uncomfortable things, which is hurting the production. Not only you're losing the production of the guys who are hurt, but you're getting worse production from the guys that have to go in there because they're all put in less favorable circumstances because of sheer necessity of usage right now. And that's what's really getting the Padres.
Oh, it's the total chain reaction. Every reaction has another opposite reaction. It has been tough. And again, the depth getting hurt, forcing the lower depth to have to play every single day. Yeah, that's not the best position for those guys to be in. We've known this. I like the way he's very eloquent as he explains it. And again, the pitching on this team has been so good. And he points out, the 1-2-3 of King, Cease, and Pivetta is an elite 1-2-3. Randy Vasquez, Kyle Hart, lone weak spots on the pitching side of things. Kyle is down right now. I like the guys that they brought up, the David Morgans of the world. We'll see what he's got to offer. I would imagine going to get some action here pretty soon. The Ryan Burgards. Our bullpen is elite. It's the best in baseball. We are decent at preventing runs. We just have to score more. We have to figure out a way to score more. And it does feel like you are paddling upstream when you have so many guys essentially out of position. Yes, they may be. Gavin Sheets is a DH, but what happens? You got to play first base every day. Can't play first base. Butcher at first base. Tyler Wade's done okay in center field, but he's not a center fielder. He needs to be spelling a guy, getting a late AB, dropping down a bunt, playing to their strengths. We're taking all of the strengths and hoping that they're going to do it for 4 ABs, 8 ABs, 12 ABs in a row, 16 ABs in a row. It's not good. It's tough.
Gavin Sheets hasn't turned into a pumpkin. He simply was. He was always a pumpkin. They were just adding some nice spices and sugar, and it tasted like pumpkin pie for a while because they were using him properly. Now they're just throwing a bunch of raw pumpkin out there, and it's gross. You know, it's not what you want to eat. You have to decorate it up a little bit. That's what good teams do with their lower lineup players. They use them sparingly in the proper positions, and by doing so, they actually get production from those guys. And that's what the Padres were doing the first 2 to 3 weeks of the season. They were using those guys in a sparing, proper way, and they were actually getting stuff from all those guys. Now they're forced to use them in ways that they should never have been using them, and of course the results are ugly, really ugly at the bottom of the lineup. And then it didn't help that both Manny and Xander have kind of gone into slumps at the same time with all of those guys. But even if they had been hitting, I don't think it would have completely changed the tenor of the Padres offense, because you'd still have 5 or 6 lineup holes at the bottom of the order.
Absolute black holes at the from. I mean, if Manny and Xander were hitting from
even if they were hitting, you could put them 1, 2, 3 with Tatis, and you'd still only have 3 chances to score every game. Because you really do have nothing there in the bottom 2/3 of your order at the moment, because these guys are all out of position, out of the proper usage, not facing the right platoon matchups anymore, and you shouldn't expect anything from them.
Yeah, it's a good point here, man. Padres are going to lose 4-2 in the last game, swept at home despite allowing only 9 runs across the 3 games. And again, that's pretty good run prevention. It is. I mean, you tell me, hey man, 3
runs a game. You're the best team in baseball.
Yep.
If you allowed only 3 runs a game, you would by far have the best record in baseball at the end of the season, even if you had a mediocre offense.
Yeah, and he's pretty critical of the strategy that Mike Schilt employed in a couple of instances. And again, we talked about the Jose Iglesias bunt. I don't know if that was a Schilt call or an Iglesias call, but Iglesias I trust more to swing away than I do a Tyler Wade or a Martin Maldonado or an Elias Diaz in that particular instance. But yeah, man, I it's hard to question strategy, because when you want to have elite strategy, Ben, you have to have the right pieces. And I don't know that Schilt has the right pieces. I'm not going to alibi it for him. He's got to do the best job that he can with what he's been given. And I can't say with any certainty that he didn't do that this weekend, but Letters to AJ lays out a couple of instances that, looking back, certainly maybe things could have been done differently. But as Schilt himself says, second guessing is the best part of baseball. And nobody does it better than Ben and Woods and our pal Letters to AJ.
And when you're managing for the long haul, I don't know if it's a great message to send, like, hey, we can't bunt this guy because we have no confidence in either
in the next guy
do anything coming up. I mean, that's a pretty clear message to those guys that we have no faith in your ability whatsoever.
Letting a guy swing away is never the wrong. Letting a guy swing away is with a runner on first. You can always make the argument that,
especially when you need 2 runs to win.
Right? Yeah, 2 runs to win it. I don't want to give away outs. I don't. So we'll see, man. We'll see. We're obviously fingers crossed for some announcements today on who's going to be coming back. But yeah, the rumor is Arise and Hayward. So hopefully that holds true.
Guess what? The best of San Diego media nominations are out.
Oh yes.
How did we do?
I don't get too excited.
Oh, all right. We'll get to that coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Ooh, halfway home, my friends, on a Tuesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan, game day, as it were. We've got Sleepy Bob and the Giants coming down. Not so Sleepy Bob this season.
They have the most walk-off wins of any team in baseball so far this year.
We couldn't get one single walk-off when he was the manager here that one year. Not one extra.
This is more like 2022 Bob with LFGSD.
Oh, yeah. That was elite. It was elite, Bob. Bob was wide awake for that one. Then he earned the moniker of Sleepy Bob. And then said, I was looking across the field, and I longed to be in Giants colors. And we all know how it ended. But it seems like he's awoken again, back on the espresso, perhaps. And he is, don't tell me there's not a little extra juice, because there is. They're human beings. Like, we want to beat Bob Melvin, and Bob Melvin desperately wants to beat us too. We also happen to be having comparable seasons in the same division. Both teams, good start. Padres have languished a little bit, but yeah, there's some extra juice, is there not?
Very even matchup last year. Padres won the season series 7-6 over the Giants in 2024. So yeah, it's been a good battle between those teams since Bob left.
Yeah, no question about it. So we want to get these tonight, but we want to get these next two, but it starts tonight. Logan Webb, Nick Pivetta should be a really fun
you always
matchup.
Want to win anytime you're in a competition, even if it may be a competition that you don't quite understand the rules or the nominating process or exactly how the voting works, but you still would like to win those competitions, correct?
Yeah, it's fairly odd every year when this happens, but we'll talk about it in a second. I'm Woodsy, that's Paul Reindl, the executive producer, and Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. And Paulie let us know this morning it's that time of year again. Time for the it's UT, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Union Tribune Best of San Diego. And Paulie started, he gave us a little taste of what's to be expected, the shows and the personalities in town that you can vote on. You can go vote on your favorite local pizzeria or Mexican restaurant.
Everything.
It's everything.
Hairstylist, movie theater, concert venue,
Best
casino.
of San Diego.
Yep, Best of San Diego.
All right. And the nominees are?
I scrolled down to the media section.
Oh, boy.
And we start with local evening news station. You have Channel 8, Channel 10, Channel 7, Channel 15, Channel 5, and Channel 9.
Okay, that sounds very reasonable. Those are pretty much your local TV
You have all the
stations.
options there to choose from, pretty much.
Yeah.
Make my vote right now.
Wait. Don't. He's clicking live votes
Oh,
that
he
aren't
is?
for Channel 10.
Oh.
Switch that vote, Paul.
All right, local morning news station. We have Fox 5 News.
Okay.
We have KFMB Channel 8, Channel 10, same channel.
Same stuff.
Channel 7, Channel 5.
So they're including everyone in this.
Really?
Keep that in mind.
Yes. Local news anchors. We have Carlo Cicchetto.
Love Carlo.
From KFMB. We have Kimberly Hunt from Channel 10.
Love Kimberly.
Lauren Finney from KUSI. Paul Rudy from KUSI. And Raul Martinez. It's KSWB. Is that because Fox 5 and KUSI merged?
Correct.
So I still associate him more with Fox 5.
Correct. He is Fox 5. That's what
Fox 5.
Fox has always been KSWB for some reason.
Oh, they have? Okay, gotcha. I'm going to add my vote for Kimberly Hunt.
Nice. All right.
How about that? Local news sportscaster. We have Ben Higgins.
Nice.
Channel 10.
Wow, you're the first one on there.
Brandon Stone of KUSI and Derek Togerson
That's
from
it?
Channel 7. Only 3.
Where's Jake?
Where's Julian?
Where's Jake
Darnay?
Darnay? Where's Darnay? What?
Troy?
I see. I don't know how the nomination process works.
Did you nominate yourself?
I did not. I didn't even know this was happening. Looks like they're listed alphabetically. No, come on. Thank you.
All right. Oh, there he is.
We've got our local weekend news station. Again, it's just the same channel.
Stations.
All right, meteorologists.
They're very fair with the stations.
We've got Chrissy Russo from Channel 5.
Love Chrissy.
Jody Kodesh, Carlene Chavez, Mark Mathis, and Sean Stiles.
Where's my Megan Perry?
There? Where's my beloved Vanessa Paz?
Did not even get nominated.
Made the cut. I don't
Megan
know.
Healy. What are we doing here?
So we're in the actual fan voting stage right now, I guess. There was the nomination phase like a month ago where you got to submit your nominations. So I guess not enough people nominated them.
Okay.
We've got Radio Drive Time Show.
Oh, boy.
You have 2 choices.
2. That's it.
Gina the Latina and just NPR. as a whole, just the whole KPBS station.
Would you consider us drive time, or is that just the afternoon?
No, Gina's on in the morning with Frankie, I think.
Drive time is morning or afternoon.
We're in morning drive.
There's
morning
afternoon drive.
But that just says drive time.
That's
There's
any
two.
drive.
There's only two. No Gwynn and Chris.
No.
I mean, okay. That's odd. Yeah, you have two choices. Good luck to the nominees. It's 50-50 for you.
Radio morning show.
Okay.
All right, that's us.
Nope.
It's not us. Okay.
That is 1015 KGB, Gina the Latina again. Now, interesting here, John and Tammy in the morning were nominated, and so was KSON.
That's where they're on
KSON.
The whole station.
So they're competing against themselves. So they're splitting their own vote. Like if you think, oh, I love that KSON show, and you vote for KSON, you're voting against John and Tammy, who are on KSON in the mornings.
We've got
is there no editing involved in this process?
Guess not.
Apparently not. That was and then you have Kogo, AM 600, and the show on Rock 105.
Fine.
So no Ben and Woods for radio morning shows.
All right, I guess we'll just.
We have two radio personalities. We have Gina the Latina and 93.3 FM. Just again,
a station is not a personality. That's a station. That's like
just 15 years of just disrespect.
That doesn't even belong in radio personality.
Best radio station, AM and FM. This has got to be us, right?
Got to. We got a great run.
Nope.
You're joking.
Nope.
I've never even heard of one of those
KGB,
stations.
K-Love, Kogo, KPBS, NPR, and KSON. KSON. Friends down the hall. Sports Talk Radio. Here we go.
All right. Now, this has got to be us.
Ben and Woods.
Yeah. All right.
97.3 The Fan. Again, the whole station. Couldn't give like Gwynn and Chris any attention there.
I mean,
it's us and the station. This is whack.
Talk Radio. Again, we've won this award before.
Sports Talk Radio.
We were not nominated for we fell to Carl DeMaio and KPBS.
Ben, your twin. I hope your twin
I don't
Carl
look
DeMaio
like Carl at all. You just thought I was Carl.
Identical.
And then television personalities.
That's just two.
Just two again.
Where's Heather Lake?
Raul and Lauren.
What's the difference between an anchor and a personality on television?
I don't know. This is nuts. This is absolute. I demand.
Was Hannah nominated in the real estate category? I saw that.
I don't know.
That was coming up next.
I have no idea. Pull that up, Paulie. See if she was nominated. Mancaro Realty Group. Why? Simply the best. Man.
All right. So there's not a ton of voting you need to get out and do, but best sports talk radio, please vote for Ben and Woods. Best sports anchor on television, please vote for me.
Do a write-in for Darnay if you could.
I don't think you can write in now.
No, it's the write-in process is done.
Not seeing any Nancaro.
Oh, sorry, babe. You're number one for me in my heart.
Yeah, nothing in real estate. Sorry.
Again, is this AI generated? How are they working this? Because some of the names don't even belong in the categories that they're in.
Correct. I feel like I will say this. It's probably gonna get in trouble for it. I feel like our boss needs to do a better job at managing the brand in things like this. This is a perfect example of how do I get all my shows nominated, all my personalities nominated.
It seems like something that would be right up his alley.
Well,
very energetic about it.
I mean, you're the brand manager. Seemingly, Gina the Latina has the world's greatest brand manager because she's nominated for everything. So, hey, man, I've worked with Gina, nice lady, but
I mean, maybe this is a sign that Adam is finally getting his priorities straight because it really isn't something he should be spending a ton of time on.
Did you say that he's finally getting his priorities straight? But we never get all the nods.
I feel like in the past, Adam might have spent way too much time on this when it really doesn't matter.
Orthodox Nails. He says Adam needs to spend less time creating viral content and more time marketing. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Yeah. Question is Moot says he's going to go vote for Gina the Latina for Sports Talk Radio. It wouldn't surprise me if she won. She's nominated for everything. Oh, my beloved Sedano Ford nominated for Best Auto Dealer. Go give them a vote.
Very good.
Man, there was a year where there were like for sports radio personalities, there were like 4 guys that we all know, a couple of them on the station, I think. Yeah. And then there was one, I don't remember his name, but there was somebody on there where like all of us were like, who the hell is this guy?
This guy here is dead.
He was like a tech engineer or something.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with the radio.
Again, I don't know how scientific I feel like you should just throw everybody up there, right? You get all the personalities, you get all the shows, and you just vote. But when you have two choices for TV personality,
it's because I guess it's on us for not knowing when the nomination process was and encouraging our listeners to go out and nominate us.
Yes, it's not on us, it's on Adam.
Tony thinks that Gina benefits from the rhyming name, Gina the Latina. Should we have come up with a rhyming name?
Ben the Hen. Woodsy there's nothing.
Does nothing rhyme with Woods?
Woods the Goods? I mean, I would die if I had that in there. Hey, it's Woods the Goods in the morning. Get out of here. Woods the... I don't know.
Or do you not... Maybe it doesn't rhyme, because you also have, Cabana Boy Jeff.
Yeah, that doesn't rhyme. He's not nominated. I didn't see him in there.
No, he's not nominated, but could we get
There's a lot of elite talent in this town that have been
Boy Toy Woods
overlooked.
They've been overlooked. And then there's some talent in there that's probably shouldn't be nominated, but they're in there anyway. Oh well. Here comes another disappointment for old Ben and Woods and apparently everybody else on 97.3 The Fan. That's tough.
Coastal Cowboy Woods.
Oh man. Yep. All right. Well. Good luck to all the nominees. Gina, looking forward to watching you walk out with the 10, 12 awards for all your hard work. But yeah, where's Frankie V? There's a partner.
He was on there.
Is he on there? Just their show was.
Said Gina the Latina and Frankie V.
Okay. On one of them, but then it was just Gina on some of the other ones.
Like if I'm Frankie, what if it was just me now? Would you be upset? I would be upset if it was just you for best personality.
It really should be the two of us together. Well, it really should be the three of us.
Yeah,
together.
Of course. Well, listen, I guess I would tell you guys go out and at least vote for our show. I don't really
remember the first year that we did this. We got Hammer nominated.
Yes, we did, and he won.
He won.
He
right?
won
yeah,
best personality. Yeah.
Stuff the ballots.
Well, listen,
it's not a very scientific process.
It doesn't.
We've told you before.
It doesn't feel that way, but well. Congratulations.
If Adam forks over enough money to get us a table at the dinner, I bet we win.
I would think best radio contest. Take on Woods has a chance if they have that category. And it's time for Take on Woods coming up next. If you want to be our contestant, 833-288-0973. You can qualify for a trip to Las Vegas, or you can just listen along, play on in your car in our 5-question musical trivia challenge. But we need a contestant, 833-288-0973. That is coming up. And then Jesse Agler at the bottom of the hour, the Incorporator talking Padres baseball, all ahead on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I'm here. I want to tell you about Prize Picks. I was playing Prize Picks watching the basketball playoffs last night. Very easy to do. All you're doing is setting daily lineups between 2 and 6 players, stat projections, and then picking more or less. So 25.5 points for Steph Curry or something like that. And then you just pick more or less, put them in a lineup together, and you can win real money. And I'm talking real money, up to 2,000 times your cash with Prize Picks just by, setting it right on their phone. Very easy to do. If you're watching baseball, you got it every single night. Combine sports together like basketball, hockey, and baseball all into one lineup. It's legal. It's easy. It's very easy to set up on your phone. Just go to the website, prizepicks.com, download the app, and when you do, use the code KWFN to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Add players whenever you want, goals, points, hits, more or less. It's just that simple. At Prize Picks, must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Good pitching matchup tonight. Logan Webb for the Giants. Nick Pivetta for the San Diego Padres. 6:40 first pitch at Petco Park. 5:40 Eco Water SoCal pregame show. And don't forget this Friday, we'll have your manager's report with Mike Schilt at 9 a.m. here on Ben & Woods. The manager's report refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925.
Can't wait.
The tenor of that interview probably hinges on the next two games quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
certainly Wednesday's game.
You don't want to roll in there having dropped 6 in a row. That's for sure.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
But I mean, if you win the next two, everything's fine. And if you split, and then I think
I'm calling it before tonight's results. Tomorrow is a must-win game.
Must win.
Must win.
Must win. They got Thursday off, so there will be a buffer. Which is good. But yeah, I mean, I want to win them. I don't care about the interview. I want to win them because I want them to win baseball games. It's way more fun.
I don't want them to not have won since the previous Tuesday.
Correct.
Going into Friday.
Yeah,
that's a long. That's 10 days between wins if they don't get either of these two.
It's a Rockies-esque type scene there.
Yeah. Rockies lost again yesterday.
They sure did, man. They were up 3-0 and ended up losing.
4-24 now. Let's see if we can get a winner. We've got a chance to do so right now in our game of Take on Woods. All right, let's go to line 3. Is this Jeff?
Yes.
All right, Jeff, you ready to play some Take on Woods?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's do it. It's brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. And we got for you today a chance to qualify for our grand prize trip to Las Vegas with concert tickets to your choice of either Disturbed, Ghost, or Pantera, a 2-night stay at the MGM Grand, and a $150 gift card. Get tickets for all 3 shows now at Ticketmaster.com. What is required of you is at least tying or beating Woods in our 5-question musical trivia game. Your categories, and you get to pick which one you want to play, are duets, old and new-ish. That's a 2-second song category with 5 duets. The End of Me, 5 song titles that end with the word me. And our new category today, the Magic Touch, 5 song titles that all include the word touch. So duets, old and new-ish, The End of Me, or the Magic Touch. Jeff, what would you like to play?
Let's go with The End of Me.
The End of Me. All right. Today's game, again, features 5 song titles that all end in the word me. That can sometimes disguise it for Woods, who doesn't get the category when it's the last word. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many of the 5 as you can. If you don't know one, you can pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question is the 2-second song. You need to give me both the title of the song and the artist to score the point. And I will say, try not to get confused when you hear the song. All right, Jeff, are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. The category is The End of Me. Jeff, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
Pass.
In which 2004 hit do the Killers sing about a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend I had in February of last year?
Pass.
In 1987, Club Nouveau went to #1 with a cover of which classic hit by Bill Withers?
Sorry, pass.
Which Nickelback song was named the most played song on the radio for the decade from 2000 to 2009?
And it's a lot harder when you're doing it.
It is.
Pass.
Lee Nash provides the vocals for which 1997 song that became the biggest hit for the band Sixpence None the Richer?
Kiss Me.
Correct. Go back to our 2-second song. What's the name of the game here?
Come on.
Oh. That is, of course, Take On Me by Aha, the theme song for Take On Woods. The Killers is Somebody Told Me That You Had a Boyfriend Who Looked Like a Girlfriend I Had in February of last year. Lean On Me, Club Nouveau, Bill Withers, and How You Remind Me by Nickelback. So 1 point is all you got there, Jeff. Hang on the line. Woods will get the same 5 questions in the same 60 seconds. All right, no category for Woods. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Jeff.
Maniac. I'll come back to it.
In which 2004 hit did the Killers sing about a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend I had in February of last year?
Somebody told me.
Correct. In 1987, Club Nouveau went to #1 with a cover of which classic hit by Bill Withers?
Pass.
Which Nickelback song was named the most played song on the radio for the decade from 2000 to 2009?
How You Remind Me?
Correct. Lee Nash provides the vocals for which 1997 song that became the biggest hit for the band Sixpence None the Richer?
Oh, Kiss Me?
Correct. Go back to our 2-second song.
Is it not Maniac? No. Oh, crap. Go to the next one.
In 1987, Club Nouveau went to #1 with a cover of which classic hit by Bill Withers?
Club Nouveau, Bill Withers. Is that? No. Ain't No Sunshine?
No.
No. Doesn't know the category.
That's 3 for you, which is a win today. Play the song for him. No one got it.
That's Take On Me? Oh, you're kidding.
It was The End of Me.
Play Maniac, too. I swear to God, it's the exact
very
same.
Similar? This is Take On Me,
That's
right?
Take On Me.
Yeah, all right.
Now play Maniac by... Who sings that song?
Michael
Sembello, yeah.
Listen. Oh, never mind.
That's similar beat, but it's got a little bit of that cowbell in there.
Like
you got Somebody Told Me. You didn't get Lean On Me. Club Nouveau and Bill Withers.
Lean On Me, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
But you did get How You Remind Me and Kiss Me.
All right, good.
All titles that end in the word me. And you got another win today over Jeff. You've done solid work this month.
Kiss
in
Me
April.
is a banger, as Joey says in the chat. It is
a great song.
She's got a nice voice.
She does have a beautiful voice. Wonder what they're up to. Sixpence none the richer. Hey,
swing, swing,
swing, swing. Yeah, that's a weird band name. Just because called it Sixpence would have probably been better.
Yeah, it's a long name.
It is.
We got Jesse Agler, who's going to join us next with the Incorporator. Talk some Padres baseball after the day off. That is coming up next with Ben and Woods here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
But first, let me tell you about the game changer in my life. That is QC Kinetics. And as I mentioned in the commercial, when I did a TV commercial for QC Kinetics, my golf game's not better, but it's pain-free. My baseball game's not better, but it's pain-free. I still enjoy doing all those things, and I wouldn't have even gotten a chance to attempt them if I had continued on the road I was on with the pain in my hands. And QC Kinetics fixed me up, 5 treatments, and back wrists are stronger than they've ever been. So no matter what it is with you, if it's your knees, your shoulders, your hips, your back, don't miss a beat. No surgery or long recovery with QC Kinetics. The science is solid. They give you your life back, and living a healthier life free of harmful meds, that's really their entire mission. If you're curious, you've heard me talking about it, no problem. The consultation is totally free. They got appointments available in Torrey Hills and Hillcrest. Call now. Find out how easy it is to get back enjoying life without chronic joint pain. If you listen to the show every day, you hear about the things that, out doing on a daily basis, going to the gym and, playing baseball, coaching baseball. I love that stuff, and I would be lost without it. I really would. And without QC Kinetics, I really wouldn't be able to do any of it. So no more chronic joint pain in my wrist for me. Now is the best time to get started with QC Kinetics. You can call 619-614-PAIN, 619-614-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics at 619-614-PAIN. When you call, again, free consultation. Let them know Woodsy from 97.3 The Fan sent you.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Sour Ben Woods is brought to you by Frozen Ropes San Diego. Hey, parents, here's a message from Coach Kurt at Frozen Ropes. Is your child 6 to 12 years old? Then Baseball Summer League is the perfect fit for your players starting June 16th through August 17th. Summer League includes 8 practices and 8 games. Register by April 30th and save $100. Go to SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. I don't know, maybe the Padres offense could use a little Summer League batting practice. We talked yesterday about Xander Bogaerts being spotted maybe at a batting cage yesterday on the off day. Just
a couple people had spotted him out and about, getting some work in.
I mean, you never know when it might click in.
Yep.
Which swing it is. I certainly know from my golfing experience, one swing on the driving range can change everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think batters sometimes feel the same way. Well, we'll talk some Padres baseball with Jesse Agler. He's standing by and will join us right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Couple of problems along northbound 805. One is a stalled pickup truck just past Imperial in the second lane from the left. Up ahead, still clearing an accident near Home Avenue. It's over to the right shoulder. Northbound 125 past Spring Street. Got a collision block into 2 left lanes. Also traveling on the northbound 15 before Valley Parkway. A collision involving several vehicles. Everything's over to the right shoulder. And Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, joining us right now, it is Tuesday. He is the Incorporator. He is the voice of the Padres, and he is going to call the Padres-Giants game tonight. Jesse Agler with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Jesse, we're a little flummoxed because we just realized, thanks to Paulie's record keeping, that the Incorporator word we had picked for you, he said, no, you did it back in 2022. Neither of us had remembered that. So we're trying to come up with another one on the fly here for you in a couple of minutes.
What was the word?
Here, I'll just play it for you. This was September 13th of 2022.
Bottom of the 9th inning in Seattle, Josh Hader has taken over for Yu Darvish as the Padres have a 2-0 lead. Sam Haggerty, J.P. Crawford, and then Julio Rodriguez, 8-9-1, due to bat against Hader after Darvish throws 8 shutout innings. And Tony, to this point tonight, everything in syzygy of what Yu Darvish did in his 8 brilliant innings.
Syzygy. Oh. When 3 celestial bodies are almost aligned in a straight line.
Shutout innings. And Tony, to this point tonight, everything in syzygy of what Yu Darvish did in his 8 brilliant innings.
Nailed it.
Incredible. I can't believe it.
That's one of the better ones.
That's
really funny.
That was really good.
Oh, my God.
No vowels. S-Y-Z-Y, G-Y.
Does anybody know, and you guys are smart, I was an English major, you know how A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y. When, maybe in this case, Y would be a vowel, right? Is that why? Yeah. I don't know the rule behind it.
It's only when there's no other vowels in the word than the Y.
That's a perfect example.
Like the word Y, W-H-Y. Y is a vowel.
Y is a vowel. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Just make it a vowel.
But it's not always
like a utility guy. You know, he can play center, he can play short, can pinch hit, pinch run. That's what Y is. Yeah.
So like Y-O-U, you can't do that. You can't have three vowels in a row.
Right.
It's a consonant.
It's yellow. I mean, it's not a vowel in that sense.
Got it.
When it's used like in syzygy,
you learn something.
It becomes a vowel.
You learn something new every day, Jesse Agler, on this program.
This is the good stuff.
This is the good stuff, man. We can talk about the lack of offense right now. I was pretty impressed with the pitching staff, as I have been all year. Gave up 9 runs to the Tampa Bay Rays. Just couldn't seem to get anything going. We talked yesterday. Guys are pressing. I mean, this is standard baseball stuff every season, man. When a few guys go down, the other guys feel like they need to do a little bit too much. And I think that's kind of what we saw at Petco this weekend.
Yeah, like it for sure. And it's funny because it's nothing, but like I can happen.
All right, we're gonna call Jesse back. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing figured out.
You guys just talk for a minute.
How you doing?
Throwing for a How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Your lips still look very chapped.
They feel a little bit better today, but
they look worse than they did yesterday. But that means they're healing.
I think so.
Did you lube them up?
I did.
All? Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you use?
Well, I used more chapstick. Then I just decided to put some lotion on them to see if that would just help.
That's a ballsy move.
I don't know if it helped or not.
You have Vaseline at home?
And then I got a glass of, this is weird.
Oh, no.
I got a small glass of milk, and I just kind of soaked my lip in milk, which sounded, I don't know, it felt very soothing at the time.
Remind me to come back to this. Okay? We have Jesse here. We only have him for a limited time, but Paulie, you're going to want to hear this.
I heard a couple of words.
You're going to want to hear
I need to hear the rest.
All right. Anyway, what we were saying about the inept, or I don't want to say inept, the anemic offense this weekend, Jesse.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like you said, I mean, guys get hurt and then, you kind of tread water for a couple of days and then maybe you start feeling like you got to do too much. It's human nature. I don't think there's any grand conclusion to draw from the last week. And one of the things that Tony says on the broadcast a lot that I've really come to embrace is, when we look at these long seasons, take them in 1 week chunks. And I think that's kind of like the most fair, reasonable, way to look at a team, a good team. If it's a bad team, it is what it is, right? But like when you have a good team, just take them in 1 week chunks. And so that wasn't a good week. And now, you kind of get a new week that starts tonight against the Giants, and then we'll obviously carry over into the weekend against the Pirates. So, I think that's a good way to do it. You kind of look at them in week segments. You can do homestand road trip if you want, but, we'd like to talk about often how long the season is. Part of that is, these ups and downs that while you're living them can seem so extreme. But when you step back and zoom out a little bit, they're really just kind of blips on the radar. So, it is what it is. Guys are hurt. Hopefully you get a couple of them back tonight. It sounds like there's a real possibility Luis Arraez could return for the game tonight against the Giants, which would be great. And pretty great pitching matchup as well with Pivetta and Webb. That'll be fun.
Jesse, I know, things that are weird in baseball catch your attention. Kind of a weird schedule this year in that there's only been 6 NL West games played in the first month of the season, all between the Padres and the Rockies and the Dodgers and the Rockies. So this is the first not only matchup against the Giants, but, the Dodgers haven't played them. The Dodgers haven't played the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks haven't played anybody in the division yet. Which is odd because all the teams are off to fast starts. So we're actually going to find out a little bit more starting this week how they look head to head, which I think will be somewhat important here.
Yeah, important not just in the measuring stick, kind of way, but important in the tiebreaker kind of way potentially. At the end of the season, it's been really weird. I think I counted it out recently. 9 of the first 17 Padres series are against American League teams. I mean, 9 of the first 17 series, more than half. And so, good news, bad news, right? It's a weird start to the season, but it does mean that down the stretch, there's only a few American League series. I think there's a trip to Seattle and Minnesota, and then maybe one other series in the last couple of months. That's it. So that'll be good because, for me, one of the problems we have with this current schedule is, because there are fewer games against the division, if you get, very done with those early on, it feels weird. And we've seen that a couple of times the last couple of years. Was it last season where like the Giants and the Dodgers didn't play after July 31st, something like that? The Padres have had a couple. That to me is a disservice to the setup of the league and for those fan bases, particularly in a division like this that's so competitive. So yeah, it's odd, but it's a little bit like, all right, we'll pay the piper now, get it out of the way. But it's definitely a weird start. I think this is year 3 of this schedule where every team plays every team every year. I think I'm officially down on it. We've kicked it back and forth 1,000 times on the broadcast, and I loved it in theory. And when they brought it out, I thought, you know what, this makes a lot of sense, because now that kid in Kansas City gets to see Fernando, every other year, and he can watch him on TV every year, even if he's only watching his team, the Royals, and vice versa around the league. But I think just from like a competitive balance standpoint, from a standpoint of like how the playoffs are figured, I think we're off a little bit here. And, AJ Cassavell is one of the people that likes to knock stuff like this around with me. And he mentioned an idea recently that I think might be the potential solution, although I don't know that MLB is looking for a solution. But basically, you would play, like, let's take the Padres, right? You play the AL West teams every single year, and then you'd play either the East or the Central that season. And then you would make up those extra games by playing one extra series against the Dodgers, Rockies, Giants, and Diamondbacks. And so, yes, sometimes you would play 3 series at Dodger Stadium and 2 at Petco, but you just alternate that. And it gets you at least 3 to 4 more games against each divisional team, which I think is probably better than what we currently have, as opposed to playing the Tigers and the Twins and the Royals and the White Sox every single year. Because the whole thing just does feel a little bit off. It really does to me.
Do you think, Jesse Agler joining us, do you think realignment's in the cards? I did hear Don, and he was actually talking with Tony Gwynn Jr. and Bob, I think it was Bob Scanlon or it was Mike Pomeranz the other day, about realignment in Major League Baseball and how that would actually make some sense at some point.
Yeah, I mean, they've not really hidden that. I think when, and it's not if, it's when they add 2 more teams. They want to get to 32. That's kind of like second on Rob Manfred's list behind getting the Oakland/Vegas/Tampa Bay situations all figured out. And those things are connected, of course. But once, the A's are theoretically at least settled in Vegas, and the A's in Vegas and the Rays, wherever that's going to go, they want to add 2 more teams. And then, at that point, I think radical realignment is a very real possibility. I don't know how I feel about that, sitting here today talking about it. Part of it, of course, will depend on where the 2 new teams are. Is it Nashville and Charlotte, or is it Portland and Nashville? Yeah. It would matter geographically. But I have always had the sense that, and again, they've telegraphed this a little bit. The idea is probably that if and when that happens, that, they would go to something a little bit more geographic, like the NBA does. And so, you could end up in a situation where you have a division that includes the Padres and the Giants and the A's and the Dodgers and the Angels, and maybe Arizona, and that's your division. And then you'd have a bunch of those. So like the Yankees and Mets might be in the same division. The White Sox and the Cubs might be in the same division, as opposed to being in different leagues. So that's definitely something that would be in the cards when they get to 32 teams.
Jesse Agler is with us. You mentioned the great pitching matchup tonight on the Padres side. Of course, it's Nick Pivetta, who has been nothing short of spectacular, which now I'm almost expecting that every time he comes, onto the mound. And that hasn't really been his MO for his career with the Red Sox. He's had good stuff, but he's been a 4-something ERA guy with the Red Sox. And now all of a sudden he looks like an ace, Jesse. Are you buying into this? Is this new Nick Pivetta, or is he just on a hot streak? I mean, I'm not saying he'll keep this up all year and win a Cy Young award, but do you think there's something fundamentally different that he's found here with the Padres and at Petco Park?
I do. And look, part of it is Petco Park, right? Think about his home stadiums previously, and then we'll get to him, because obviously the environment is only a small piece of it. But guy pitched in Philly and Boston his whole career before this year. Those are 2 of the best hitter parks in baseball. So it's not just the literal results of balls in play, but probably at sometimes at least a mentality thing for any pitcher, who's got to throw in those places with regularity. So he goes from that to Petco, which is very different. He's working with a great pitching coach. And I think, the most important piece of it is he came in open-minded, and he came in, at a point in his career where he was like, all right, let's try some things. And, whether it was moving back to the other side of the rubber, something he'd done earlier in his career, whether it's, maybe a repertoire thing, we'll watch it as it develops. But he's a guy that right now is pitching with tremendous confidence. Like you said, he's always had great stuff. So I'm buying big time on Nick Pivetta. And you're right, it's not going to be a 1.20 ERA probably the rest of the way, because that just doesn't happen in today's game. But this is a guy that is going to be a rock solid piece. And, none of this is coincidental. I'm sorry. Like, you go back the last couple of years and, whether you want to talk about Lugo and Waka or Nick Martinez, I mean, it's like every single season or almost every single season, someone is being added to this rotation and basically turning in a career year. And that does not happen by accident. That's an organizational thing. That's, finding the right guys to bring in. And then that's, the coaching and the teaching and the learning that they get when they get here. And again, not every guy is that open-minded. And so, being able to kind of figure out which guys would be open to those kinds of things is a very important piece of the puzzle. And it's a really good thing we got going right now with the pitching.
Look at the bullpen as well. I mean, you talk about guys like Jeremiah Estrada. The Cubs were like, no, we're good. I mean, what would the Chicago Cubs do for a Jeremiah Estrada right now today? Craig Counsell would do disgusting things for a Jeremiah Estrada in his much maligned bullpen. You think about Adrian Morejon coming into his own. I will say this. We've been watching Adrian pitch for a long time and always kind of the promise of something great. When he comes in the game now, God, knock on wood, don't blow it tonight, but knock on wood, when he comes in the game now, Jesse, I have that sense of relief like I have when when Suarez and Estrada, who I just mentioned, I have that with Adrian. I feel like he's going to get the job done, man. And it's again, like you said, it's not luck. It's not luck that 6, 7, 8, 9 guys have come to San Diego and really learned how to pitch better.
Better believe it. And I'm with you. I feel great when Adrian comes into the game. And I'm so happy for him because he talked about a long, bumpy road, to get to this point and, developmental setbacks and probably being rushed to the big leagues and being, asked to start in a situation when he maybe wasn't ready for it. And to sort of, weather that whole thing and get to this point. And we saw it coming last year. And then also to stay healthy. The guy that, wasn't healthy, it seemed like for any long stretch of time until the last couple of years. So thrilled for him. Great story.
All right, here we focused all on the brilliant pitching we have. The offense, they need to figure it out when they get their guys back. Certainly, we spent a lot of time talking about Xander yesterday. Talking about Manny. Those guys need to get it going. Jesse, there's, again, we're just kind of crossing our fingers at this point that they're able to figure it out. I've got no answers as it pertains to those guys. But again, I think the pressing thing, I think it's a real thing. And hopefully, some of these guys have hit Logan Webb actually fairly well. Manny has. And hopefully they can break out tonight. We desperately need to score some runs because we've been really good at preventing them.
Do you know what the Padres as a team hit against Logan Webb last year, batting average-wise?
Didn't we smoke him?
Four starts. They hit 340 against Logan Webb last year.
Let's go. House of Horrors tonight at Petco Park. Let's make it so, Padres fans.
All right, Woods had to come up with a quick backup to syzygy since we had already used it. So hopefully this is a unique Incorporator word for you. Woods, what do we find?
Ken Speckle.
Ken Speckle.
Ken, like Kenneth? Ken
Speckle. It's one word. Ken Speckle. And it means something in the English language. Ken Speckle. Here we go.
If you just open your dictionary to the K's.
Yep. It means it's an adjective and it means conspicuous. And here's I'll use it in a sentence.
Easily recognizable.
Yeah. With its towering spires piercing the sky, the Ken Speckle landmark could be seen from miles away. Do we have a Ken Speckle landmark? Coronado Bridge, I'd say, is a
probably
Ken Speckle landmark. So it will sound funny. It will sound funny in the broadcast tonight, and I look forward to hering you weave it in.
Are you back to the normal lineup with Tony Gwynn Jr. after some changes last week?
Yes. Yeah. Mud was off on the weekend, so he's back tonight. So Tony and I will be together, and hopefully he's kicked that cold that he's had. I was surrounded the other day on the plane. You guys know me in the journey.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And I had Don on my left, Tony on my right, and I was like, I had my nose in my shirt, like as if it were a mask. And so hopefully they're both feeling better.
Oh, I'm sorry,
and should be a big crowd tonight with the Tony Gwynn rookie bobblehead night as well at Petco Park.
It's going to be great. Going to be great. Thank you, buddy. Let's get that dub tonight.
Looking forward to it.
Appreciate it.
Jesse Agler, the Incorporator and the voice of the San Diego Padres, joining us each and every Tuesday throughout the baseball season. And Ken Speckle.
Ken Speckle
is his word.
It's a good one.
My Ken Speckle calves over here.
Yeah, they are conspicuous. Yes. Ben's calves, a Ken Speckle San Diego landmark. You can see them from miles away. That's a good word. It's just funny. I like the ones that sound funny.
Jesse's always got such good perspective, and he didn't say a ton on the offense. I would feel silly saying anything about Manny right now. Manny,
he's been hitting the ball hard,
and Manny has been so consistent over his career. It would be weird to think, oh yeah, Manny's lost it. That that wouldn't make any sense. Xander, there's definitely concerns. This has happened now 3 years in a row where it's just he's not getting going. But man, there's no concern for me over Manny Machado.
No, me neither, really. I mean, I was looking at the savant, with the hard hit balls and expected batting average and all that, and it's like, oh, okay, he's getting unluckier than even I realized. But when the ball's not leaving the yard, when you're in desperate need of runs, that's kind of what we need from Manny. We need a little slug, we really do.
Yeah. And that often happens early in the year.
Yep.
Petco, it's cold, ball doesn't fly very far. That happens.
It sounds like it's good eating for the Padres tonight with Logan Webb on the mound.
Hopefully.
Knock on wood, that continues.
That surprised me.
I know he's a tough customer.
Good
usually,
pitcher,
so.
man. Really, really good.
All right, we got 1 hour left, including the Rhyn Report and more. Don't go away. Ben and Woods continuing here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Agler, who joined us. Jesse's smart. I didn't get to ask him about what I thought was one of the interesting baseball stories of the day yesterday. And Woods, I'm sure you caught this as well. Did you see Jose Altuve and his reason for not wanting to bat leadoff anymore?
No.
You didn't see this.
No.
Paulie, did you see this one?
I did not.
Okay. So they moved him down from first to second in the order. Actually, he hit a home run, had the go-ahead home run for the Astros yesterday. But he actually requested, and I can imagine the fans might be going crazy that a player would say, I don't want to bat leadoff anymore. And the reason he gave, valid, but not one I had ever considered. He said, since moving to left field, when they bat in the bottom of the first inning, he feels like he's too far away, and he has to run all the way to the first base dugout and then turn right around and bat, and he feels like he's not ready to hit yet because it's just too far from the dugout to then get ready and all of his, his bat and his pine tar and everything, and he feels rushed. So he asked if he could be moved down to the number 2 spot. So he just had a minute more of preparation
to catch his breath
before he batted in the bottom of the first inning, and they said, okay. And he had big home run yesterday. Is that a valid reason to be requesting a different spot in the lineup? Maybe the most valid reason.
It potentially is the most. It's a better reason in my mind as a fan than I don't get my numbers there. Honestly, like we've heard that bit before.
I mean, it's a reason why he thinks he's not getting his numbers there. Like he's not giving you the best at bat to lead off the game. Because
I guess it's a roundabout way.
I disagree completely.
Do you?
You're alluding to Juan Soto. I didn't have a problem with when Juan Soto said that, because if it's true that Juan Soto has better production in the 2-hole than the 3-hole or whatever it was, I want him wherever he's going to get the most production.
I was alluding more to Xander Bogaerts, who also said the same thing.
Yeah, fair enough. With Jose Altuve, I think
also Xander got his bag, Soto hadn't.
Yeah,
right.
True.
So that when you're playing for a bag, hey man.
With Altuve,
where are you going to be most comfortable?
If I'm the manager, I'm like, buddy, we need you on the leadoff spot. That's where you're best for this team.
But he does it.
Slow it down a little bit.
Just walk it in.
Yeah, just nice light jog.
But see, he's got to be ready. Everything's on the clock now.
So
I kind of get it.
And he talked to the media. He had a couple of reasons. He says, I really just need like 10 more seconds. But he said, I just told Joe, a spotter, that maybe he can get me second some games at some point, and he did it today. I just need like that extra time to come in from left field.
Get your head right.
And he said he decided to put Jeremy there. And he said he thought Jeremy's one of those guys who's been really good for our team, and he's fast, and put him in the leadoff spot a little bit. But ultimately, Altuve said, "Hey,
that's funny.
I love playing baseball. I like being in the lineup. In the end, it doesn't really matter if I play second or left, if I lead off or not. I just want to be in the lineup and help the team to win." And I guess he felt like he helped the team win a little bit more at the second spot than in the first spot.
Also, he wanted that extra break. Now, I'll be honest. Anytime we have a game, I'm the first one at the field. Do you know why I'm at the first one at the field? So that I can get the best dugout. And the dugout most of the time is closest to first base, where I will play.
It's not already pre-assigned for like the home or road team, or
It is, but it isn't. It's
they're
one
not
of the
going to move you.
They're not going to move you. It's kind of like
you show up to a high school, you can tell which one has the home dugout because they got the nicer bullpens and stuff like that. But if it's like pointed in the sun at 9 a.m,
correct,
we'll take the other side.
We'll take the other side. But I always try to get the one by first base because I don't like running all the way across the field
after you make an out.
Well, I don't like running out to my position.
Oh, because you're the first baseman.
Yeah, so I like to just step out, get 5 steps, and then
that's why I always have to run.
That's why you always have to run across the field to third. That's exactly right. I'm no dummy.
And then, if anyone wondered, in Major League Baseball, generally the reason why some teams are at first base at home and others are at third base simply is the configuration of the stadium and the clubhouse.
Yeah,
where they have the bigger, nicer clubhouse, fit better on one side or the other. Yeah. So that's why certain teams are on the third base side and other teams are on the first base side.
Dominic asked the same question I had. Does Altuve still bat leadoff on the road?
I don't know. This was the first time they moved him down. There's no reason he shouldn't bat leadoff on the road because you've got all the time you want when you're the first team to bat.
Yeah. And
then you have no idea if you're going to lead off an inning the rest of the game.
Correct.
So you could be leading off in the second spot every other time you come to the bat.
That's interesting.
So it really only matters for that first at bat only in home games. But they did it yesterday, and they did win the game over the Detroit Tigers.
Now, we had some really bad audio with Jesse Agler. His phone was cutting out. We just wanted to get a connection, Paulie. But as you told Ben and I to vamp.
What's going on? Yeah.
Ben and I were vamping, and I said, "Hello, how are you?" And he said, "I'm good. How are you?"
Heard something about Vaseline.
I said, "Do your lips?" I said, "Your lips look worse today than they did yesterday. Are you okay?"
And you feel better.
And you said yes. Then I said, "Well, what did you put something on them?" And you said, "Yeah, I put a little chapstick on there." And I said, "Do you have Vaseline in the home?" And you ignored that question for some reason.
We have Aquaphor.
My guess is you have Vaseline somewhere.
Aquaphor.
Also Vaseline is my guess.
Is it the same stuff?
Pretty much.
Similar.
Yeah. And then Ben said something that I could not in good conscience let go by. Tell our listening audience once again, and
I
Paulie,
really had no medical reason for this, but I had poured myself a small glass of milk, and I took a sip, and then it just felt very soothing on my lips, so I just kind of let it soak in the milk for a little while. I thought, no, that's probably got some good proteins and things that could be, they put milk sometimes in lotions, like
they do.
And I thought, oh, that's probably not a bad thing, just to let it soak there for a little bit.
So you took your glass of milk,
and I just kind of,
and you put your lip,
in it, and you held it there for a little while.
Like pop, like you're just like this.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Just like let
mouth into a cup.
Yeah, exactly. For a little while, like a minute or two.
Just resting in milk.
Yeah, just because it's really only the bottom lip that's
chapped.
The bottom lip's fine. The top lip's fine, but the bottom lip is the chapped one.
Huh.
Does that not make any sense for?
It's like I'm looking at an alien. Is what it looks like. Next time you do a milk soak, will you text us a picture of it? Because I want to see it of him just.
I'm thinking back to that guy's behind the scenes video that went viral a few weeks back.
Yeah,
his
the morning routine. The big routine.
And just Ben's like reading his journal.
His push-ups in.
Doing his push-ups, and then he's just sitting there with his face in a bunch of milk like a cat.
Just it shows like the time lapse. It's like 3 minutes of him just. Then he sits up and jumps in the shower and he's off to work.
Good to go.
Now, did you feel that the milk helped, or could it have been any liquid except for maybe orange juice? You put it, you're like squeak, you break the glass in your hand. The acid burns you.
Well, I've heard the very counterintuitive phrase: water is actually very drying.
Yes,
to your skin.
Correct.
So I didn't want it to be water.
Right.
But I felt like milk was better in terms of had some more proteins, and
really the proteins is what got you.
The proteins, yeah.
What about just straight honey? Just
honey.
Slather it in honey. In a bowl.
Throat, but I guess it could work.
Of honey.
Could work. I had some hot tea as well. I don't know if that had anything to do with my lips, but
man, you are. I can't get it out of my head. Ooh, condensed milk would have been good. It's very thick and sweet.
Make some Thai tea while I'm
some
at
powdered milk. It was just a drug problem.
Just powder because of the proteins that are still in there. Tres leche slips. Yes. Horchata, perhaps the next time. You are unbelievable.
I will admit that there was no
one was home.
Medical,
nobody saw this, right?
There's no medical reason for it. Just kind of
felt good.
Just kind of had kids walking the door and just your face in a bowl of milk.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Babe, you're stoking my lip. You're unbelievable. You really are, man. You are really, really something else, buddy. I can't. The mental image is going to be in my head the rest of the day.
It's soothing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I get it.
It's rather pleasing.
All right. Whatever works for you, pal.
It did. Other baseball news and notes. The Dodgers did place Tyler Glasnow on the injured list.
Wow.
I believe I read he is their 8th starting pitcher on the IL and 13th pitcher overall.
I mean, I don't take any joy in people getting hurt, Ben, but the list is pretty.
You have the list?
Staggering. I do.
Some I
might have retweeted it.
Guys like Clayton Kershaw were already hurt to start the season.
Well,
they haven't lost 13 pitchers, but they do have quite the extensive list of injuries so far.
Yeah, here we go. I had it, and I don't anymore. It's lengthy. It's lengthy. I don't know what I did with it, but there's a ton. There's an absolute ton of injuries with that team. And Tyler Glass, now I know that he was talking yesterday. He was really frustrated, and I don't know, man. Look, I said it last year. I would say it to the national pundits when we would have them on, when we would have Jeff Passan on, or when we would have Eno. In fact, like, what is it? Is it systemic? Because it certainly feels systemic. And I don't know if you're a Dodger fan, how you don't look at this and go, yeah, it's absolutely systemic in this organization. You have the list.
Got the list.
All right, lay it on me.
Well, they put Ohtani on there because he's not pitching.
Right, not currently pitching because of injury.
Right.
Before.
So Ohtani, Snell, Glasnow, Kershaw, Gonsolin, Gavin Stone, Emmett Sheehan, River Ryan, Blake Trinan, Michael Kopech, Brewstar Gratterall, Kyle Hurt.
That's ironic.
Michael Grove, and Edgardo Henriquez.
Oh, he's that dude that throws gas. They all throw gas. Every one of those guys is pretty nasty. You need to find a guy named Bill Healthy and get him in the rotation.
Get that Kyle Hurt out.
Kyle Hurt out, Bill Healthy in.
We have Kyle Hart.
We have Kyle Hart. They have Kyle Hurt. Yeah, how do you not look at this and go, this is 100% systemic within this organization? And again, they sit in first place, found a way to win last night.
19-10, tied with the Giants. So I mean, if that's the worst the Dodgers are going to be, then we were all right about the Dodgers at the start of the year.
That's exactly right.
They're going to be incredibly good and probably win 110 games at the end of the season.
Right.
Because they're already winning 2 out of every 3 games, and they're doing it without a good chunk of their available pitching rotation.
They haven't played the toughest schedule yet. I did see somebody put out yesterday teams that have played games against teams that are under 500.
I saw that too.
The Chicago Cubs have not played one team under 500.
Their 17-12 record is incredibly impressive when you consider they have played all their games against the Padres, all their games against the Dodgers, all their games against the Diamondbacks for the season. They're already done with 3 of the tougher teams in the National League. So they've got all their games left against the bottom dwellers in every division.
The Mets have played the easiest schedule so far.
They're taking
20.
advantage.
Yep, taking advantage. Again, you got to get the job done. The Guardians and the Twins behind that. The Red Sox and the Reds behind that. You get down to 13 games played against teams currently below 500. The Dodgers have played 13 games of teams below 500. The Padres have played 7. So Padres and Giants neck and neck. Now they'll be playing each other tonight. So
neither will add to the total of 7 tonight. Now, early in the season, you also create some of that by beating teams and forcing them under 500.
Correct.
So the fact that the Cubs are 17-12 and all the teams that they have played still have managed in the games because they've lost. Those teams have lost 17 games against the Cubs, and yet they're all above 500. That means they're even better than you kind of think they are because that includes all those losses against the Cubs. And the Padres have played a lot of games against winning teams. They'll do 2 more this week, but they played the Cubs, obviously, who are tough. And in the American League, the Astros have a winning record. The Tigers have a winning record. The Guardians now have a winning record. And the Padres have had series against all of those teams already this season.
Yeah, man. It's tonight. Tonight's big. Obviously division rival. You want to win these games. Just a quick 2-game set. You got Pavetta tonight, King tomorrow, and again, there's some winnable games here. But just want to see the boys get back to having some fun playing baseball. Look a little tight the last 3 against Tampa Bay. Just need a win for the Friar faithful tonight at Petco.
All right, still have the NBA playoffs. 4 games tonight. We can talk some hoops coming up, and Paulie's got his Roundel report. Did you not watch any hoops last night? Not even a little with the no baseball?
We had the live stream till 8.
The first game was terrible.
And then I went to bed.
I just saw some highlights from the Rockets-Warriors game. Bro,
that was decent.
90s basketball is back.
It's back.
Every game I see, every highlight I see, guys are throwing each other to the floor. They're kicking each other. Draymond Green was
They're just saving it for the
Jimmy
playoffs,
Butler
right?
And Dylan Brooks were going at it yesterday.
There's certainly a debate to be had about the officiating in the playoffs this year. Well, we can get to it because I do want to bring it up. We'll get to that coming up in just a second. First, I want to tell you about SDFatLoss.com. Still here the month of April, last couple of days. I know they've got their spring special going. If you've been thinking about it, you've been afraid to pull the trigger, make the change, just do it now because by the time 2 months are done, by the end of June, before July gets here, before it's really summer in San Diego, you can be 10 to 20% lighter, lose up to a pound of fat per day. And I did it, so I know how it works. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. My colleagues, Chris, Scraby, John down the hall at KSON, have all lost really over 100 pounds combined with the four of us, closing in on 200 pounds. Tier 1s have lost so much weight. All you have to do is follow your counselors, basically the plan they lay out for you. It's doctor-developed, easy to follow, and you lose weight naturally and safely with no drugs or injections, and you have to buy no prepackaged meals or bars. You simply eat normal food from the grocery store like chicken and steak, and you reset your metabolism so you lose that weight quickly and then keep it off for good. I've kept it off closing in on a couple of years now, thanks to their support staff, the maintenance plan that they've got. That's part of it. It's not extra. It's part of the program at sdfatloss.com. So go to the website, schedule your free consultation, sign up today, and be a new you by the time summer really hits in San Diego at sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
San Diego, as we know, not exactly title town, USA.
What makes you say that?
Well, that would be the
lack of titles.
The lack of titles. And that extends to the college level as well, where San Diego colleges have only won one Division I national championship in a team sport in either SDSU, USD, and now UCSD is Division I as well, school history. Any idea what sport it came in, Woods? Test your San Diego sports history knowledge here.
Water polo.
That's a good guess. No, men's volleyball, 72, San Diego State. They don't even have men's volleyball at San Diego State anymore.
I remember those. I remember that team. They were electric.
It's the only team title that now, of course, the basketball team came one win away from a championship a couple of years ago, fell a little bit short. But I do want to wish luck to a couple of teams that at least have a shot at adding to the one overall title. The SDSU men's golf team won the Mountain West Championship this last week, so they are automatically in to the NCAA regionals. They will announce tomorrow their site where they're hosting, and if they advance from there, they'll come to La Costa for the championships in a couple of weeks.
Will you be there?
I went last year to check it out.
Did.
It was a lot of fun. And if San Diego State is playing, another reason to go out to La Costa if they can advance. And then the other team that has a good shot, the USD men's tennis team, was ranked 6th. They got the 6th seed in the NCAA tournament yesterday. They had their selection show. They'll actually host the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament. They start with UC Irvine and then possibly USC in the second round. So they're got to be considered a championship contender based on, high seeding at least, one of the top 6 teams in the country, according to the NCAA. So I wanted to wish both of those schools and teams some luck going forward as we try to add to our minimal haul of championships here in San Diego.
I get it. I'd like to think, you think about the Red Sox, what they did when they finally ripped that Band-Aid off, how they got, 3 more or 2 more after that. That's what you hope for. You hope that it opens the dam at that point and you get a few more and then they become old hat, and you think about Boston for many, many years. They always had the Celtics, right? The Celtics were the one, and the Bruins were a really good team, but man, all they wanted was their Patriots and all they wanted was their Red Sox. And who won? Patriots won first.
Yep.
And then didn't stop winning.
Won a couple, yeah.
And then the Red Sox got theirs, and then they won a couple of more. And now the people in Boston are like turning over the tables because, well, it's been so long since the Patriots and Red Sox have won one. I'd love to get to the point in San Diego where it's been so long.
It's been like 8 years
since they've won a championship.
Well, the Celtics just won one.
It's true. The Celtics won one, but Patriots and Red Sox have fallen off a little bit in recent years.
I don't feel bad for them.
You
I don't
be
either.
Spoiled. You want to feel what
be
it's
spoiled.
like to be spoiled by regular titles.
Yeah, you want other people around the country going, oh my God, the friggin' Padres again. They're about to win another one. That's what you want.
Well, it's tough to do when you only have one major sport.
Yeah.
So you get one shot every year. And if you don't get that one, it's nice in Boston. You got four chances every year.
Bruins won in 2011, Spencer says. Celtics won one recently, last year. But the Patriots, it's been a minute for them, and they're rebuilding. And then the Red Sox, we had a bunch of last place finishes for them, and they're a sexy pick this year, certainly. But
Red Sox last one in 18?
18, I think. Yeah. 7 long years for those Beantown folk.
See, that would feel like nothing.
You realize there are kindergartners in Boston that have never seen their team win a World Series.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Unbelievable.
Unreal. I just was going to say something and I forgot. That happens.
That's right. You get, I think, 14 teams left that are still competing for an NBA championship. 2 have now been eliminated after the Miami Heat went down in absolutely just ugly fashion in front of their own fans last night.
I did see the score, I think, before we started our live stream, and they were down 30 or something.
It was 43-17 after the first quarter. Cavs.
Oh my God.
And then they expanded that lead by 13 more at halftime to be up almost 50. And then they just kind of cruised to the 138-83 win by 55 points.
Oh.
And that was, in front of Miami's own fans. Oh. They lost by 37 and 55 in their 2 home games. And their 120-point margin of loss in the series is the worst ever in an NBA playoff series. Now,
that's
are
it
you happy
for them,
that you
right?
got in? Yeah, they're swept 4 games to none.
4-0.
Now, they snuck in as a 10 seed by winning 2 road games in the play-in tournament, which was great, but their prize was to get obliterated by the Cavs in the first round of the playoffs. And then, of course, the Thunder have also advanced in the playoffs. But last night, the Warriors did move to 3-1 ahead of the Rockets with a 109-106 home win. Big performance by Jimmy Butler, who, of course, took that big fall in Game 2 and missed Game 3 with the tailbone bruise, but came back, looked a little off in the first 3 quarters, and then scored 14 in the fourth quarter to lead the Warriors to a big win, 109-106, as they now are 1 win away from the second round. Now, everyone thought it would be Warriors-Lakers if they advanced, but obviously the Lakers have a lot of work to do.
Is that game tonight?
No, that's tomorrow. Tonight there are 4 games on the schedule, but none involving the Lakers. We've got
a bunch. You got 3 games that are 3-1 leads, and
Milwaukee
probably all wrap up
Indy
tonight.
can wrap it up at home. The Knicks can wrap it up at home over the Pistons. Boston can wrap it up at home over Orlando.
But if you're going to watch any game tonight, Woods, and I would actually recommend just catch a couple of minutes. You won't stay awake for the end, which is the best part. Clippers and Nuggets has been an amazing series.
That's what I keep hearing.
There was one blowout. Game 3, the Clippers won 117-83.
Who's leading?
It's tied 2-2.
Yeah.
Other than that, the other 3 games were 112-110, 105-102, and 101-99. Like, they have been down to the wire.
And if the Padres game is good and you're staying up until the 9th inning, probably you'll be able to switch right over to the fourth quarter of the Clippers-Nuggets games, which starts at 7 o'clock tonight. So you might be able to catch
I just really like hearing you guys recap it for me in the morning. But if we win, I'll be in a better mood and might flip over to some basketball.
Yeah. So there's your quick NBA update. Paulie's got a bunch of other headlines in our Rhino report.
It's not going to be in the Rhino report. So while we're just Dame Lillard did tear his Achilles.
That
was the news.
And not only out for the season, but it's one of those that by the time he has the surgery, goes through the entire rehab, it's not even certain he'll be able to play at all next season.
He may be done.
Which is it's a really tough blow for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, that was sad. All right, Paulie was with the Roundel Report. Get to our final segment of Ben and Woods coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Paulie just reminded me we still have those boxing tickets to give away, so why don't we do it right now? 2 tickets. Top Rank Boxing presents Navarrete versus Suarez at Pechanga Arena coming up on May 10th. Get you in there for some 3-time division champ Emmanuel Vaquero Navarrete defending his world title against unbeaten Filipino warrior Charlie Suarez. Call now 833-288-0973. Paulie's got a round of report coming up, so we'll make it the second caller real fast. 833-288-0973. 2 tickets to the fights on Saturday, May 10th at Pechanga Arena. Also, co-main event, Southern California's own Raymond Muratalla battling Zaur Abdulev for the interim lightweight crown. So, we got some boxing tickets to give away. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Also want to remind you that coming up this Friday, our Manager's Report with Mike Schilt takes place this hour, 9 a.m. hour on Ben & Woods. Manager's Report is refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. While Paulie answers the phones before the round of report, a little other baseball action yesterday. Brandon Nimmo drove in 9 runs.
That's a good day
for the New York Mets. Hit a couple of home runs in a 19-5 win over the Nationals. Yeah, that's a pretty good day. It's almost twice as many RBI as Xander Bogaerts has all season.
Correct. That's
in
a hell
one
of
day.
a day. Yeah, Twins absolutely demolished the Guardians 11-1. Orioles over the Yankees, Benny. Nick Martinez, 1 run, 5 hits over 6. And the Reds, don't look now. But my sneaky little Reds are making.
Padres, you kind of see them in the rearview mirror for the wild card race. It's a little early to talk about the wild card.
It's a little early. It's April.
But hey, you want to stay ahead as many teams as possible. And the Reds, who I think were one of your sneaky picks to watch this year, have gotten off to a decent start. How about the Athletics? They've climbed above 500 after they beat the Rangers yesterday 2-1. We thought maybe Mark Kotze's team had some potential, and then guys like Soderstrom getting off to a good start, and they have played well, even though they have, of course, the lowest average attendance in all of Major League Baseball at about 9,000 people per game up there in Sacramento. They are winning some.
Their pitching is what's carrying them. I think they're dead last in runs scored. They're 29th in OBP and 23rd in slugging. And the fact that they have a winning record is pretty incredible at this point. Astros over the Tigers. Braves handled the Rockies. The Rockies are in the chamber. I believe they're on pace for 24 wins this year. 24. Could be the worst team of all
time. They already have 24 losses.
Correct.
So they may have already guaranteed themselves an under 500 record.
It is the worst start for any team in National League history at 4-24. My heart goes out to them. It really does. What is your reasoning for going to the ballpark right now if you're in Colorado? I mean, probably a cheap ticket, probably a nice, fun time out with your small kids. They can run around the ballpark, get some good food, and watch some baseball. I mean, but it is really, really tough. And then, of course, we mentioned earlier, Dodgers did have to come back and go to extra innings to beat the Miami Marlins. Dane Myers hit a pinch hit grand slam off of Anthony Banda. And yeah, they were rolling until that happened. And Tommy Edman came through again, walk-off 2-run single to salvage the Dodgers.
Biggest payroll discrepancy in baseball history in this series.
Yep. 400 million.
It came down to the 10th inning.
Baseball's weird.
It's baseball.
Yep.
All right, Paulie, we got a winner?
We do. Zach,
congratulations. The boxing tickets are yours. And Paulie's got the rest of the Rhyn Report headlines right after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Got a few things wrapping up our morning drive. One of them is this collision at the clearing stage on southbound 805 just past Nobel. Also, tow truck is helping to clear a crash on northbound 15 right before Valley Parkway. Everything over to the right shoulder. Crash has been cleared over to the right shoulder on southbound 5 Coastline just before Cannon, and eastbound 78 right before the 15. Two-vehicle accident over to the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rhyn Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Rhyn Report with Paul Rhindle.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Rhyn Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah?
All right.
All right. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for letting me be a special guest here on your show. Very much appreciate it.
Fine. You're no longer special. You're just a guest.
Just a guest. Even better. All right. We were just talking a little hoops in our last segment. I did see a headline yesterday that Shaquille O'Neal has reportedly agreed to become the general manager for Sacramento State. Yeah, that bit. It's continuing. So we've seen this now a few different times recently. Steph Curry was named an assistant GM at his alma mater, Davidson. Trae Young from the Hawks, he's got the same assistant GM role at Oklahoma where he played. And then Andrew Luck, who retired from the NFL a while back now, he's the GM, not the assistant, but he's the GM for Stanford football.
Yep.
So Shaq is joining up with Mike Bibby, who's now the coach at Sacramento State, and he's going to be the assistant GM. His son, Shakir, has just transferred over to Sacramento State.
Because I remember Shaq dominating for LSU back in the day.
Right.
Back in the day, and LSU's got to be going, oh, all right. But they probably got enough.
Now, it's an unpaid voluntary role for Shaq.
He actually has to pay in.
This is like a title. He's probably going to have to donate a ton of money.
Sacramento State. That's genius, Spencer. Sacramento State. Brilliant. So his kid plays there.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It makes sense. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people around basketball talking about, hey, Sacramento State could be this up and coming program now. They got some flashy names. Mike Bibby.
What do we got to do to get Kawhi Leonard as assistant GM or GM of the San Diego State Aztecs?
Can't say he's playing because Steph Curry's playing.
Yeah, I like Steph.
Trae Young is a current player. He's doing it.
I wonder, because there are actual legitimate GMs now at these schools.
Yep.
It's like a full-time
gig
job. Is it delegitimizing a bit by having volunteer assistant GMs?
Not
just
if
for
it's
their
Shaquille O'Neal.
name recognition. Well, I understand the value
Or Steph
to the
Curry or
school.
Trae Young.
I mean, all right, if you're the GM or the sports
director,
athletic director was the word I was looking for a college, and you have Shaq on your quote unquote payroll as your assistant GM, like that's a pretty good recruiting tool.
Well,
hey,
sure.
Shaq, I need you to hop on FaceTime from wherever you're at.
I mean, he's just a glorified booster.
Y'all need to come there.
I mean, they're not actually paying him, as you said, Paul. It's a voluntary position.
You really don't like it, dude.
So he's just a notable booster of the program whose son attends the school.
Come play with my kid.
I mean, Kawhi's not that much more.
It's true. Dynamic
personality.
What about San Diego State getting Marshall Falk to be the football GM?
They have a football GM.
Yeah, you met him.
Yeah,
from Notre Dame.
From
Notre Dame.
My guy.
That's right. All right, that's it. That's actually it for sports today. We've kind of hit everything else with no Padres game yesterday. I did see this story from the last week or so. Now, Yes, no, we talk about it every October. You were told as a kid and you're told now as a parent, be careful when your kids go out trick-or-treating because people like to put their drugs in your kids' candy.
I love giving drugs away.
And you're
Everybody
like,
does.
Nobody does that. Nobody gives out
bindles of cocaine
drugs
on
for free
Halloween.
On Halloween.
Here.
Apparently they do it.
8 ball.
Apparently they do it for Easter, though.
Do they?
Because police in Texas, Lufkin, Texas, do
I
you know where
Lufkin,
that is?
Yes.
Lufkin, the Lufkin Police Department, they are looking for somebody who was hiding the plastic Easter eggs that you can put candy or whatever in. He was stuffing them with, well, let me just...
loose cannabis?
Oh!
He was putting some marijuana in the plastic eggs and hiding them all over the city. There was then a Facebook group that he was putting out clues that people could then go and find
adults.
These, yes,
it's an adult Easter egg hunt.
So I'm seeing this now more on like TikTok.
A Weedster egg.
When are you on TikTok?
Well, I wasn't, but there was a story, or it was on my Instagram feed that a guy like had one of those fake avocados that has a zipper, and he put like $100 bill in there, and then went to a grocery store and put it in with all the other avocados, and took a quick like picture and said, "Hey, you come find this avocado a little different than the others. You can grab the $100."
Now everyone goes and fingers all of the avocados
well, you do
at
that
every
anyway.
store. I get it. That's true. You do.
You always squeeze the avocado before you get it. But
our chat, very smart. They remember that Easter was on 420 this year.
That's right. It was.
It says here in the story I'm reading, the suspect posted 4 photos on Facebook, each showing a location as hints to locate the eggs. He also posted a photo of 5 plastic eggs in the seat of a vehicle. He was driving around town, dropping them off and leaving clues. And then a man and his granddaughter actually found one of the eggs at a park and turned it into the police department. So that's how they were tipped off. Yeah. Narc.
Easy, Karen. You'll be fine. It's just some loose cannabis in an egg.
But ganja, aka cannabis, it's a scavenger hunt.
It's an adult scavenger hunt.
Right. Weedster eggs is what they're calling it. A Weedster egg hunt.
The guy took the egg and took it to the police department.
Everybody must get stoned. The evidence locker.
The guy at the desk is like, "Thanks. Appreciate you doing your part for the community, buddy."
Oh yeah, we'll get right on this.
Yeah. All right. Hey guys, can you book this into the back room, please? Book this into evidence. Thank you. You know, we really appreciate
evidence tag 73298. Plastic Easter egg filled with
loose cannabis.
Yeah,
it's great.
Oh, and then finally, a little television news here for you. I bring this one up because, well, it's one of our favorite shows. Not a lot of shows out there, really, where all 3 of us are like all in, gonna watch every single episode and be dialed into it. But The Bear season 4 has announced a release date, and I like this. It's coming up pretty soon.
I was
June 15th.
surprised.
Usually you'll see
4
they
years
announce,
between.
they announce, hey, we're filming season 4. It'll be ready next fall or something. No, June 15th, season 4 of The Bear officially returns. The Bears won 21 primetime Emmys so far through seasons 1 through 3.
I love seasons 1 and 2. I haven't even been able to get through season 3.
Why?
I don't know. I just
fantastic.
haven't.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Was it? I thought.
Yes.
I had trouble getting going.
Don't fall into the 3rd season is when everybody usually starts ripping shows because they whatever. But I thought it was absolutely
all right, I'll get back to it.
Brilliant.
It's fantastic.
Is this why they're doing it so quickly to the 4th season?
Maybe
to erase the memory of the 3rd
Maybe
season for people who didn't like it.
It's like I think every good show has been through it. That's the 3rd season kind of jitters, or 3rd season people get, you get used to something, and if they try to go a little bit different, you're like, no,
the
I want what I
characters
want.
have been developed by the time you get
which
to
is
season
good.
3 and 4.
I think the good part is the characters already, but I think most show runners like come into an idea. Okay, I've got this great story idea, and then you play it out maybe over the 1st and 2nd season. Then you got to come up with another one for these characters. Like, what are they going to do?
No different than
next?
this show. You know what I mean? It's no different.
Gas station in the chat says, I'm with Ben. The last season had like 3 filler episodes. I did not need an entire backstory on Tina. I think that was my favorite episode.
I
of
loved
this
that
season.
one, man. I loved that one on Tina. I love it. It grabbed me.
Yeah.
And the first one they barely spoke a word, and I just thought it was so. And I kept waiting. That night indulged in loose cannabis. for the first time in a long time. It was
Loose cannabis
when season 3 debuted, and I was feeling pretty good, and which is rare for me. I think I took one little hit off Penn Higgins, and I laid in bed, and it had this beautiful music behind it. Remember the first episode of season 3, and it's just like flashbacks. They don't really talk, and I kept going, when is it going to start? When is it starting? When is it starting? And then when it finished, I went, that was awesome. That was awesome. So I loved it. I thought it was great. They can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned.
I feel like there's been 2 signature episodes of The Bear.
Well, and one of them is
Feast of the Seven Fishes, which is
there's nothing worse than that episode.
It's such great TV, but so hard to watch.
It's what crystal meth is. Like watching that episode is what crystal meth is.
But I think some people that's their favorite or the most impactful episode. And the other
I
is
booked a therapy appointment after that.
Dude, yes.
Spoons, which
Spoons
is
was
the
incredible.
Richie one, that was my favorite episode.
Was that the one where the other guy goes to Holland too at the same time when
it might be
because I loved that.
But Richie's story at the Michelin star restaurant,
brilliant.
Spending his week there
it's like life lessons in that episode.
I like that one.
It was really, really well. It's a well done show. I can't wait, man. Cannot wait.
I'm very excited for that.
For season 4 of The Bear. It's a brilliant show. Excellent. June 15th. Man, we're right around the corner. I like it.
Be there soon.
I love Richie. God, I love him.
Cousin,
dude. So good. Such a great show. Great show.
He's very snarky.
He is,
which I think you appreciate.
I do very much, very, very much. Really well written show. There's not a lot of great stuff out right now, but trying to find something that has grabbed me. Mobland's kind of lost me. Mobland.
Those episodes where you dive deeper into the second and third tier characters, like that's how you keep the show going.
That's how you get
because you spend the first 2 or 3 seasons developing the main characters.
I actually don't even care what the main character does anymore. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
The chef, you got their stories already done. So now you dive a little bit more into Tina and Cousin and some of the other characters. That's how you keep it going.
Brilliant.
Otherwise, the show would have been over after season 2.
That's right. Really, really good.
All right, Padres return after their off day tonight. First pitch is at 6:40 tonight here on 97.3 The Fan. Sam Levitt, after hopefully had a nice day off, gets a 5:40 Eco Water SoCal pregame show from Petco Park, and I'm planning on heading down there this afternoon.
Are you?
Yeah, for Channel 10.
You gonna? We didn't have an earthquake today, so what are you gonna ask the guys about?
Well, I'm hoping, I'm speculating at least that Luis Ariz will be back. So. Hopefully see if he's got anything to say upon his return in the open clubhouse.
I'm sure he will.
It was a big life experience that he went through.
The earthquake?
No. Oh, the concussion.
So, Luis, it's been a while since I spoke to you.
He didn't talk after that because he was obviously in the concussion protocol. So just to get his perspective on what it was like going through that and how scary it was and everything. And
ask him what he does for chapped lips.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. Has he ever dipped his lip in milk like you did yesterday? I hope he's back tonight. I hope he's back. Looking forward to seeing him.
But that's not guaranteed. So I'm just
we're all biding our time here. Crossing our fingers. Just anybody back in the lineup to lengthen the lineup.
Things have gotten so dire. I'm like, oh my God, can we get Jason Hayward back in there
Brandon
tonight?
Lockridge, I miss you so much. So much. No, he's got to lengthen the lineup a little bit, man. Schulte doesn't have a lot of tools in the toolbox right now, trying to make do. It's funny, I was looking at some of the numbers against Logan Webb tonight. Who's hit him, I think, fairly well. Manny's hit him pretty well. Tatis has not hit him well, but that was old Tatis. This is new Tatis. New Tatis has been
Tatis who lays off.
The splitter outside. Down and all the stuff that Webb slings up there. The sweepers away. But I thought of course, my internet's running slow. I think Yuli has actually hit him pretty well as well. So
interesting.
I wonder if he gets a look based on past experience.
I mean, who gets bumped off the off the roster?
375 OPS of over 1,200 with a bomb against the Machado's hit him well. Martín Maldonado has not. Gavin Sheets hitting 625 off of Logan Webb. He's going to be in the lineup anyway. Tyler Webb with a robust 375. Xander Bogaerts 222 against him, and Adames has hit Pavetta pretty well. Chapman and Flores not so much. Mike Yastrzemski, very limited ABs, but does have a bomb off.
If they do activate a rise, does that mean Connor Joe goes back to the minors, or does Yuli get DFA'd? It's probably one of those two.
Yeah,
since you're adding an infielder, they still need Mason McCoy, I would think.
Even though he can't play defense.
That's true too. You could probably send him back down as well. Just go with Jose Iglesias as your
infielder, backup.
Well, I mean, he's starting already
now,
though, so you really wouldn't have a backup middle infielder.
I think
if you don't
Sheets
have Mason
moves.
McCoy.
I just think Sheets moves to DH and Luis Ariz gets back to first base.
Yeah,
or vice versa.
And but you do have to make a corresponding move.
I mean, obviously, Rise goes back to the 2-hole.
Yeah,
you slide Xander to 4.
Xander's been in 4. I can't in good
been 4,
good conscience.
You put Sheets there is what I meant. Slide Sheets to 4.
Continue
Probably
running
Sheets
him out.
at 4 just to go righty lefty righty.
Yeah.
If you got Manny 3, Sheets 4, Xander 5. Xander's actually been worse out of the 5th hole, if you can believe it.
Where's been the best hole for him?
2, I think. Crazily enough. All right, that's it for us. We will be back with a game to talk about tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Braden's coming up next for special guest, Paulie Reindl and Stephen Woods.
F you, pal.
I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. From all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.